As we get started, please excuse any noise that's about to happen in the background. I'm watching some clothes, doing a little bit of laundry, and at some point, I'm going to assume that Key is going to come out and make us some delicious burgers. So that's going to be quite the start for this month's podcast. So aside from yours truly, we have Deafhorse at the top.
Hello.
We have Pickles, aka PandaPawZzzz, who's below me in the roster on the left here.
I'm a bee.
God damn it. You're a bee?
I'm a bee.
She's a
Buzz,
bee,
buzz.
she's a bee, she's a bee, she's a bee.
And below her, or them, sorry. Below them is Ryley Percival Miller, aka the goofy asshole. Yep. We gotta get a cold one in there. I had a cold one earlier and I drank too soon. I was too eager. And last but not least is Sleepy, or Sleepy Charm, aka Q Galaxy Arts. And it's another cold one. Okay.
This episode of the GoldenFox podcast is sponsored by Mountain Dew Major Melon, available in your local retail
Yeah!
No.
Okay, if everyone's doing cold one, fuck it.
So, how's everybody doing
I
tonight?
have a cold one. I have a McDonald's drink.
Dude,
Oh,
at least you
golden.
have a drink, yes, Sleepy.
I'm doing well. Do you know what game I was playing last night?
What game were you playing?
It's a game called it's one of your favorite franchise. Your game it's from one of your favorite Nintendo game franchises. That is not Mario.
Were you playing the expansion pack?
No.
What?
It has to do with it starts with an M.
Oh, you were playing Metroid Dread?
Yeah.
Okay, so hold up. With no spoilers, how good is the game?
No. It's hard as fuck.
I'll be
It's
expecting
harder
that.
than any dick that's been hard. It's really fucking hard. Like, Jesus Christ.
I wonder how it compares to the difficulty of Fusion, because that game was hard as hell.
Okay, it's not really a spoiler, but they still don't have crawling motion at all. They don't have crawling, which is bad.
But Galaxy,
I mean, what?
patience is a virtue.
I will throw you under the fucking bridge. I swear. I will twist your dick if necessary.
Ow!
Whoa!
Stop fighting.
Let's fighting, love. Okay,
So context. I had to wait almost 2 to 3 weeks for this fucking game. It's a lot. No, here's the thing. It's a lot more painful to basically wait for it to ship than actually playing it.
Oh boy.
And it's a lot more scarier than any horror movie I've ever watched this year, honestly. Like, good God.
Blasphemy.
I mean, yeah.
Anyways,
So, aside from Metroid Dread, anybody else has anything been going on with their lives? Something you may want to share before we get to the meat of the topics?
Things have been good on my end. The only thing I'm just very excited for is that Lego Titanic set.
You'll have to excuse me. I unfortunately am dealing with some sirens in the background.
yeah,
It's understandable. It's California, would expect.
Red,
Okay, sorry about that.
Panda, you're not supposed to sing it like that. You're supposed to sing it, "Where are you? And I'm so sorry."
I come back to hear Blink 182.
Sorry. I need to take more good singing lessons from Gremlin and Bathorn.
Yes. the most prestigious of lessons of all time.
Could have been worse. We could have been doing Simple Plan.
No!
No!
What's a Simple Plan song? I don't remember.
Let's not give her any ideas.
Didn't they also did Jet Lag?
I don't even know what the
think
fuck
so.
that is.
They did do the What's New Scooby-Doo theme song, and they had, of course, an episode.
What's New
with them.
Scooby-Doo? We're coming after you.
I'm gonna throw this box of mac and cheese of Cheetos at you.
Galaxy.
What?
I mean, you yeet her, and she's just gonna come back. She's like a boomerang.
Then I will use
Yes.
it again and again and again, how many ever times it's needed.
It'll be a continuous loop.
Then
There she goes.
Whee!
have you seen the candy corn pizza?
The
Oh,
candy
God.
corn?
No.
No, I'm not even gonna. No, I don't want to know.
What is the appeal of candy corn?
It's
Honestly.
tasty, but it's not as tasty.
It's
Okay, can anyone sit down and actually tell me what candy corn tastes like, though?
it's heavy in texture, but the flavor's too overbearing. I will say that
I know,
much.
but what is that flavor, Fox? What is that flavor?
It's just sugar.
You know what the flavor?
It's just sugar.
Not just sugar, there's something else to it.
Oh God, what?
Sugar.
No one knows. Every time I ask somebody, like, what does candy corn taste like? Can you like identify, like, oh, is there a certain taste to it? It's like, no, well, I mean, no one can give me a
It's
straight
like-
answer. What does candy corn taste like? Does it taste like corn? That's a lie.
Life's biggest mysteries: the meaning of life, what happens after death, what is the flavor of candy corn.
How does cat dog pee?
They'll never tell you how they
Actually,
pee.
they
There are some things we're never
demonstrated
meant
that.
to know.
There's a reason why I didn't like Cat Dog. It was just an endless amount of question to the fact that they're both spliced together, and somehow, you know what? I'm not even going to answer the very question of how they use the bathroom.
Animated
I mean, to be
show,
fair,
I'm
that
on
entire
the
show,
line
I
of
liked
belief.
it, but the entire idea of Cat Dog was that it was a sadist show. Literally nothing ever went wrong for them. I mean, right for them. Everything always went wrong.
It was. I liked it. I liked that green rabbit guy who was always like up to some shit.
And
Also,
Winslow, yeah.
we should get into the podcast before we start stalling, and I want to stall, but still.
Okay.
Pass
So,
the bean.
so I guess none of you guys have anything personal to share or something a little fun. So,
I'm going to BabsCon, so yeah.
good for you. Put a gold
That's
star
cool.
next to your name.
Yay!
Okay, so the following topics we'll be talking about tonight are the recent My Little Pony movie called The New Generation, the pilot to Ghost and Molly McGee, the trailer that came out the other day called Lightyear, and last but not least, by a heavy request by Sleepy, Squid Game on Netflix. So, starting from the top, we're already going to get to the most anticipated one, that is My Little Pony: A New Generation. So, throughout the course of this year, a lot of us have been speculating and looking over what's going to be coming out for Generation 5. We've been kind of exploring our feelings on how we could have seen more of some things in Generation 4. It's after finally seeing the trailer and actually finally seeing the movie, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. But I'm not going to give my initial thoughts first. Who would like to go first?
Moi.
All right, Sleepy, you have the limelight. You have the floor.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about not the heavy topic out of the way. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna talk about someone very specific.
Uh-huh.
And no, I'm not gonna talk about the characters I relate to first. I'm gonna talk about a character that I don't like, mostly because I can't take him really seriously in that regard.
Oh, I can already see who that is.
I'm imagining it.
Sprout is the epitome of a mommy kink. I don't like it. I really don't. Sprout is like the embodiment of like a mommy kink, and I don't know how to feel. He'd be the type to, like, if he were to do BDSM and some, like, dominatrix were to be a mommy or some shit.
On Twitter right now. I hate it's everywhere on Tumblr right now. It's everywhere on Twitter. And the moment that man, the fucking clip where he's like, yes, mommy, it's immediate. Yes! Everybody. I was like tipping for the Nazi pony.
I'm gonna stand in the corner.
Oh my god, the fucking
I'm gonna
Josh
stand in the corner
Scorcher.
and I'm gonna scream.
The fact that, like, this, like, Walmart Josh Scorcher gets to be the villain is so fucking weird.
Why did you have to make that comparison joke? I'm so dead tired of hearing that shit.
I said Walmart.
You said Josh.
Yes, I said Walmart Josh Scorcher.
Trust me, she makes that comparison to everything.
But the fact that he literally is a villain, a minor Cozy Glow could be so much of an intimidating villain than him. That's how much I hate him, okay? Like, when a minor can be as intimidating as fucking T-Rex or Chrysalis, that's when you know you fucked up. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
When someone who's probably 11 could be as intimidating as anyone else in the franchise, you know it's fucked. Like, Sprout, I can't take him seriously as a villain because this is the current era we're talking about. If we're going to have villains, at least have better villains. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just like reaching too much, and the fact that I'm probably like pausing the inevitable topics, but it's just, I don't no, I really can't. The voice actor did such a good job of ham-fisting the fact that he's a mama's boy. Like, I love him.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I love him also because I like the fact that they referenced one of his actor roles where he had to play like a dictator. And I thought that was pretty funny. That Nirvana looking ass song, I hate it.
Oh, the Angry Mob song?
Yes, I was like, because, like, okay, here's the thing. On its own, it's fine, okay? It slaps. But in the context of the movie, it's shit. It's utter shit. I was like Tabby when he basically was when he was listening to the Eminem revival, and one of the songs was like sampling "We Will Rock You," and he's like, he's not singing over this, and that's how I felt. That's how I felt with like the Nirvana ass song. I was like, they're not doing this, are they? And they were, and I'm like, oh,
Danger.
Yeah.
Is that the name of the song? Danger, Danger? Because
I think so.
I thought it was called Angry Mob, but whatever the case is. Go ahead.
Yeah, whatever the case is. I was just gonna say, I think it is called Angry Mob, but some people do call it Danger, Danger.
I'm also on the same ish. Like, I concur with Sleepy in regards to the Angry Mob song. What I don't like is that because it's made as a rock song, it's the same impression that I had when I saw the trailer for Troll World Tour. They're demonizing rock music, labeling them as antagonists, and it's being shown to children, leaving them the impression as if rock music is just bad for kids. And I hate that mentality.
Actually, if you
I get that.
watch the film, it's actually another... Never mind, I'm not going to go into that whole thing.
No, but like...
No, you can go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry. No, Ryley, go ahead.
I mean, the thing about the film is, the reason why the different troll races are separate to begin with is because of one certain genre, and it wasn't rock.
What?
New metal?
Pop.
Oh.
So... Yeah,
I mean,
make of that how you would.
The thing about, like, I think the reason why by its own it's pretty tolerable is because, like, I think it's because it's more of a full song. And, yeah. Also, the other thing about this, like, song for me is that it's kind of okay. It's not really a great villain song. It does like serve well, but there's like a really weirdly mixed like I guess you would call them drums at the second half of the song. But also, can we just talk about the soundtrack first? Because I am very much milking this.
Oh, yeah, no. I will... Okay, before we get to the music, I will say one more thing in regards to Sprout. I love how well-timed the slapstick was. Like, when he goes to open the doors, goes all, "Citizens!" And then the doors close on his face. It was so perfectly timed.
That was self-awareness, and I love it.
Yeah.
You know what they should have done, too? Even though I know they would not been able to do it? Considering who Sprout's voice actor is, they should have done the famous, "Ha! Gay!" Or at least some sort of reference to it.
Well, saying gay wouldn't sound appropriate according to, what the target audience is.
Well, I'm not actually him saying gay, saying, ha! Gay! But... like another word in that format, so eagle-eyed watchers can go, "Oh, it's him! It's the guy from Community," because he was in the show Community.
Okay, I think it would have been funny if it went for something around the lines of okay, so there's the whole the whole infamous "oh my," but instead of using it in that tone, it would have "oh my," "oh no," that would have been a hilarious reference without being overly sexual or anything like that. Just in a different context, but still saying those very words. But yeah. Anyways, so I'm Sleepy. You said you wanted to talk about the music for a second.
Yeah. Why does it sound better than Drake's album?
Can you stop bringing up Certified Lover Boy?
Here's the thing. For a while, I kind of liked some of Drake's songs in the newest album, but then I listened to this and I'm like, this is some Astroworld stuff. What?
There are only two things that I remember from Drake. One, he's a criminal. Two, and I know, is everybody gotta know, and I know. I'm gonna shoot myself for singing that song.
The only thing I know about Drake is, one, he's a Degrassi actor. He can pretty much act like he never was in Degrassi. He was Jimmy. Two, the fact that he fucking started the stupid-ass YOLO song. And three, that stupid, dumb, never gonna get over how ridiculous it is, beef with Kanye West.
Yeah. Also. Unicorn horn makes a unicorn stride. It's the morehead on your forehead. It's the source of your pride.
No.
I knew you were gonna bring it up. I knew.
Every unicorn's voice out of your is unique. So whip them up, pussy speak, and like a tree magnetic. We'll take a poly protrusion and make our bony delusion. It's not the perfect solution of a world with big on inclusion and with those rocks in the pockets.
I mean, you tried. You tried. 6
I
out of 10.
love that song so much. The full song is so good for that.
I actually like that segment. I know some people would probably be like, that segment looks a little bit awkward or even boomer-like, but I think it actually works rather well.
I don't see how. It's just, I just find it cringe.
I love it. I think it's a lot more better than, I'm gonna be honest, I like this one more than the Pinkie Pie one.
Dude, anything is better than the Pinkie rap.
Because, as much as I love the retro aesthetics, this one has more flow than Pinkie's. I'm sorry. I love Pinkie, but no.
I think also you could at least give the, what's the name of it? The Izzy rap sort of a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because they're trying to at least be humorous and they're not taking themselves seriously.
Yeah.
Whereas the Pinkie rap was pretty much trying to take itself way too seriously, considering it screams, "Hey, look, this is the 90s."
Yeah.
Next thing you know, just fucking throw in Fresh Prince and there you go. D?
Also, considering I have a bit of a voice actor bias, considering that this is from the same girl that voiced the, what was it? The anime girl, Penny Parker from, Spider-Verse.
Of course, you would bring up your favorite movie.
Yes, my favorite of all time. Yeah.
Spider-Verse?
Yes.
Spider-Verse is my favorite movie of all time. I don't give a fuck.
That does not surprise me, because Spider-Verse is just a fucking masterpiece.
No, I am a sucker for aesthetics and all of that. The fact that it went so well, but anyway, we're not going to talk about that. I'm not going to do an 8-hour discussion with that. I'm not going to talk about it. Anyway, the fact that this movie... I want to talk about, now we got the music out of the way, I want to talk about the topics. Mm-hmm. And Me, Rye, and Golden were watching the Josh Scorcher video, and I was like, I did. No, here's the thing. I did agree with some of his points. Like, I agree that, hey, I think the biggest part, I did mention this to Golden when we were gonna watch it, how some of its messages tend to be very, what's the term? Ham-fisted in a weird way. Because, yes, racism is bad. It's a brave topic to touch upon, especially for a show or movie or franchise about little ponies. Like small pastel colored horses that you could give to your 5-year-old, right? Mm-hmm. What I find funny about the topics at hand is just, if you were to be, okay, let's play a scenario. You were in the 1980s and you just watched the new MOP movie which has come out, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then some time traveler from 2021 basically was like, "Hey, my name is Dr. What should we name this person?
Bob.
Dr.
No,
Bob.
not Bob. That's weird. We should
Doc
call him
Brown.
We should call no. Oh, we should call him Golden.
What?
My name is Dr. Golden. I am from the year 2021, and I would like to show you the newest generation of ponies from the newest MLP movie. It's like, oh, the franchise has come so far? Yes, dear. Okay. Oh, why are there so many topics I don't know about? Well, Jimmy, you see, Jimmy, it's a lot more dangerous in this world. Imagine like Grandma Sam would just like be fainting and having a coma. I think that's what I find most funny about like this movie's topics is that if you show this to someone in the 1980s and just be like, yo, this gets dark. I mean, yeah, it's very ham-fisted, but you gotta give credit to how they're doing it. And I do agree with some of Josh Scorcher's points when it comes to like character development and how the story seems to be very one note, even though he did kind of complain about literally, besides the complexities, which I do get, but he complained about Zootopia not being, or like MOP not being like Zootopia in terms of how they want to handle the topic. Even though Zootopia did the same thing, the only difference is that in Zootopia, it's a lot more complex.
It's not just that it's not just that it's complex. It has a different way. Okay, if Josh is expecting something like My Little Pony to match the quality or some kind of writing standard with what Zootopia has, first off, you're talking about different writers, and two, even if they were just like what Josh would have wanted, you might as well just say, I might as well just watch Zootopia.
Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe, yeah. For the most part, I feel like for the topics at hand, yes, racism is bad, but it kind of depends on how open your mind is when it comes to stuff like this. And I can kind of understand why this won't bring him back into making MLP reviews, because this can bring someone's mood down depending on how like bad your day is or how bad your mental state is. I can understand that.
And it also really depends on the perspective of what someone thinks, because some people, like, you know, not to go too deep, some people really at times don't feel comfortable about certain topics. Not because they don't want to approach it, but because, you know, things are pretty hard and you don't want to deal with life's harder moments when you want to go to your little escapist route. And then you see that your favorite thing that you're into is immediately touching upon topics that you already are seeing in the outside world, and that just reminds you of it. So I can sort of understand that, but at the same time, you shouldn't assume that the show, like some arguments I saw, that the show or the movie went woke, as some say. Because I didn't see the MLP movie going woke. At best, I feel that it actually presented the message rather respectfully. And when you really start to think about it, at least in my opinion, it wasn't so ham-fisted as everyone else says. It presented it in a much more straightforward and rather mature way instead of dumbing it down into people's faces.
I think it's also because, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I gotta get this pet peeve off my chest. I'm so tired of people saying the word woke all the time. It's one of those annoying buzzwords that people are just throwing around either for the sake of something to complain about or just something that drives them crazy. It's the way I see it, it's just part of cultural change and people need to learn to adapt to that. That's just a natural way of society. And additionally, the other thing that Josh used that really irritated me is that he didn't necessarily call Sunny a Mary Sue. He said she was close to being a Mary Sue, and I'm like,
that
no.
makes no fucking sense, because a Mary Sue would be someone who gets everything what they want and such, and have everything that they get. Literally, Sunny developed as a character as it went on, and to be kind of honest, she didn't immediately get everything that she wanted. She started off just being a normal character who wanted to change. She wanted to make the world a better place.
Exactly.
She literally, in essence, is like Twilight. I mean, for fuck's sakes. If calling Sunny is close to a Mary Sue, then I guess Twilight's a Mary... Then I guess let's rethread the stupid argument of Twilight became a Mary Sue because she got alicorn wings.
Yeah, no, even during season 1, or at least sometime afterwards, this was when I was new to the Brony fandom. Some people, there was some word spread around, and don't die on me, Ryley. But no, some people were already calling Twilight a Mary Sue, and I'm like, what the hell is a Mary Sue? And apparently it's just, it's a figure of a character written in a story where they get no development because they're completely perfect. And I'm like, well, I'm already seeing this as a buzzword. And then it became so much more dominant with the character Rey from the Star Wars sequel trilogy, which I know that the recent Star Wars movie has problems, but saying that Rey was already perfect from the start, she was trying to figure out her identity. Not to mention, she got her ass kicked when she first encountered Kylo Ren. She got froze by the Force from him. Are you going to say that's a Mary Sue?
Also, I want to make a joke real quick.
Yes, you can Mary Sue.
Sorry.
Wait, what?
Never mind.
That was amazing.
Oh,
that was keyframe.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. What was it? Oh, right. I lost my train of thought for a second. It's like, hey, Twilight, I'm a big fan of yours. Oh, really? That's great. Oh, by the way, I got wings in less than an hour. Wait, what? Yeah, you know that time where you basically got wings in season 3? Yeah. Yeah, I got mine in an hour. Teenagers scare the living shit out of me.
Oh my god, Galaxy, stop.
The fact that she literally got her wings in less than an hour, basically, it's just Twilight, so funny to me.
It took Twilight 3 seasons to get to literally ascend to alicornhood, and Sunny, again, with spoilers, Sunny literally just became an alicorn in just one movie.
Yeah, that's just
impressive.
I know that's what the fuck to people, but at the same time, it's kind of hilarious to me.
To be fair, do we even establish if the horn and wings were permanent?
That's what some people kind of agree with. Because Sunny's wings and horn were transparent, there's a possibility that while she could be considered an alicorn, they're probably not permanent.
Yeah.
But either way, it doesn't change. Either way, I don't think the change in her becoming an alicorn, changes her as a character. I mean, people thought the same thing for Twilight, but she was still the same character we grew to love from the first season. She just also ended up getting a higher status. Yep.
I'm gonna give technical props to one of the artists that did the character design. Girl, you did such a good fucking job. I am so proud of you for coming this far into fandom to the point where you basically had to do character designs for the movie. Good fucking job.
Yeah, also, I do sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna give props to Josh Scorcher and his wife Aramal. Aramal, sweetie, your voice acting skills fantastic. Josh Scorcher, I may not agree with your points, but the rest, good.
Yeah, Josh, if you somehow hear this, don't think we are against you for you not liking the movie. We just we just obviously disagree with your opinion, and that's okay.
I feel like you know, when he was talking about like how like Hitch being a racist is not a bad person at all. I have this weird tingling pinky sense feeling that someone would probably on Twitter would probably be like, oh my gosh, Josh Scorcher is canceled because he thinks that racists are good people instead of bad people.
Galaxy, sweetie, dear.
No, I'm not wrong, because I feel like that would happen, though. That's the thing.
I mean, well, that's the thing. I was about to say, you're not wrong. Have you seen what this fandom has been doing on Twitter?
Yeah. But, okay, back on topic. Overall, like, Sophia Carson, I thought that was like Elisa Carson for a second, but close enough. She was the voice actress for Pip, and she also did Descendants. Don't question me why I know about Descendants. And she did such a good job. Pip is a fucking mood, though. Izzy and Pip are moods entirely. They are some of my favorite characters in the show, especially with like the facial expressions that Pip makes. It's like, oh, I love you. Your energy is just amazing. I love you.
I mean, we all know that the fandom absolutely loves the hell out of
Izzy Moonbow.
Izzy. Like, the worship that Izzy has is kind of just
overbearing.
I mean, I'm not saying that Izzy's not a good character. I love Izzy. She's precious. She's arguably the most adorable being in the entire film, but...
Aw, thank you.
Bonk. But good lord, it seems like she overshadows everyone else, including little Sunny.
Yeah, Sunny, like, out of all the characters, Sunny's become my favorite character. Because she's just she's just somebody who just wants to make the world happy instead of having everybody, like... Yes, you could say that this is a case of main character syndrome, or some people would say that it's a case of, like, just the very idea of, what is it, being an activist or something like that? But
Gen Z activist, yeah.
You know, she doesn't, like... Paleo Steno actually made a point about something where instead of pointing blame to people... She just stands up okay, so there's the freak accident that happened at the beginning of the movie where she was up on stage at the showing of the new mechanics that the Karen mom was showing. And this is mainly because I forgot the character's name, but when Sunny is like, she's right there directly in front of the audience, she just stands up and says, aren't you tired of being afraid of things? Like learning how to step out of your comfort zone. Like that's just a basic idea that she managed to nail down, and I like that they took this direction. Instead of just like, oh, racism overall is just bad, there's another way of looking at it.
Yeah. And the thing about these kinds of movies is that not only it's a sensitive topic, but it's also something that's like, it's not one-dimensional. That's kind of the thing with these things. It's not one-dimensional when it comes to talking about certain topics like this, because it's not just literally black and white, but it's also just, it's a lot more complex than it is one-sided, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it's a lot more nuanced.
Yeah, like, it would have been black and white
especially since this is a movie about cartoon fucking horses.
Well, but to add on to the whole thing about black and white, back to that little freak accident where Sunny comes up and saying that fear is not your friend and everything. Like, she gets stuck in one of those mechanics that lock her hooves, and like, that's not what I planned. Like, it would have been something like, I had this gut feeling that Phyllis, thanks to the chat for pointing that out, that Phyllis would have been like, ha, gotcha, we knew you were going to, like, step on the... No, she's like, shut it off, this is going to go really, really bad. So she has a care of making sure nobody gets hurt. And another scenario where after she lets Sprout take over the city, or take over, Maritime Bay, and like he's working with that giant bulldozer, and Phyllis is like, "Stop! You need to back down. This is getting way out of hand." So there's a different side to her instead of just completely making her 100% one-sided. You know, like she's like, "Oh crap," because there's a part of her where it's showing that she's trying to ensure safety for people, but she's also under that belief and that ideal impression that. Like everybody is scared out of the fear-mongering of the 3 different races. So that's why, like, to me, when I see that she anticipates that having, like, all the pieces of the frame put together, to which was the portrait of Sunny and her dad, it feels natural. Yes?
Another thing, too. I think the main villain of this movie is Sprout's mother. If you really think about it, because yes, she does own up to the fact that I fucked up on raising this child, but at the same time, bitch, even if traditions at the time were very like traditions teach you something, you made profit off of people's fears. Don't go sit around being like, oh, my son is the villain. No, you not only raised that fucker, you also enabled it.
Galaxy.
I'm like,
Galaxy.
What?
Dear.
Do you really not think that is an actual thing in real life?
No, I get it. No, I get the fucking, like, I get the message it's trying to get with the mother. It's just that, if anything, I feel like Sprout, yes, in manipulation and such, yes, but the mother, if anything, is a lot more worse. For me, anyway. Also, I do not like, for personal reasons, I do not like Zip's mother, which, by the way, is also voiced by Liza Koshy. Yes, queen. But, yeah. Oh, also, just, like, I like the movie overall. It's not bad, nor is it... Well, it is good. No, don't get me wrong. The movie is fucking good. It's just that it's kind of complicated with how you see the film in terms of story, because it's a lot, not even because it's complex, but just it could either make or break certain fans, if you know what I mean, into making reviews again.
Yeah.
I don't think it's not gonna break me.
No, I get that. I mean, like, in terms of, like, let's say, who should I use as a test dummy? Hey, Def, okay. Let's say Def were to do, Def has been in the game, the Burnalysis game for years, at, like, more than GoldenFox, right? And he basically was like, oh, he just watched the new MLP movie. Oh, I don't like this, mostly because it's, like, racist or something like that, or, like, whatever. It kind of just stems down to whether or not, for certain people anyway, whether or not this will make or break your spark, I guess. Because I think that's what most fans, or more specifically people who have done reviewing of the show for the longest time, especially for a whole last decade, I think that's kind of what they have in common, is that they either have the spark again, they either have the spark again, or they don't. And I think that's kind of like, it's a good movie overall. It's just that for certain fans, it will probably hit a certain way. Not good or bad.
Ryley, don't die.
I'm not.
Drink water.
I am also. I mean, I could go next if you're done.
Yeah. Let's. Yeah.
Go next.
Mm-hmm.
So, I get what Galaxy's talking about with the whole spark thing, because honestly, when I was watching the film, I was moving along with it, but I wasn't really getting that spark I had gotten originally from, like, Gen 4 and stuff like that. But I think that was more, not really the fault of the film, more so, like, I don't know, personal shit or something. I don't know. Over time, I started, like, really enjoying the film more, and I started listening to the song again. I don't know. When I first went into it, I had, like, really low expectations to begin with. I wasn't really expecting much. So, it's definitely got me intrigued because I just want to know what the fuck happened. Where are the Wendigos?
That's what I want to know.
The
I know-
changelings, the
I mean,
bat ponies, etc., etc.
I know that the series is going to probably explain everything a lot more, but oh my god, they leave so much to interpretation. All that I can at least interpret from it is that something must have happened in the gap between Gen 4 and Gen 5 that caused all of this to happen. But my at least my headcanon, or at least until everything is revealed, is that Twilight and the main six disappeared after some weird battle happened. After they vanished, the races of Equestria couldn't keep themselves together without their leaders, despite the lessons that Twilight and her friends had instilled, and that caused everybody to just split up.
There's that. There's like what happened exactly. Like, is this even supposed to be the same universe? Is like they mentioned like the main six in the beginning, but I'm wondering if that's basically just fairy tales in this universe, or I don't know.
That's one thing that I did read. That some people, that's the thing with Sunny and her friends, is that they make it seem like if Twilight and their adventures were just fairy tales of some sort. And honestly, it would be kind of bizarre, interesting that they actually did the alternative universe route. Like, maybe this is one of the timelines where the main six did fail.
I guess.
I mean, we could yeah.
I mean, in the whole thing that Josh was complaining about, like, not having enough change in the scenery and stuff, it's like, it's one thing with Gen 4 because it's 2D animated, even with, like, Flash. With 3D animation, it's a lot more difficult to make backgrounds and shit, so they have to, like, they have a limit to what they can do. So I can understand that from a technical end, why that you didn't see too much of this new world compared to, like, the previous gen, because of some limitations of 3D animation.
Yeah. Plus, not to mention, I feel like they're just trying to save up as much of everything for the TV series, because obviously they're not going to do big info dump. I mean, again, Josh may say, oh, well, why didn't they explore the world that much? Mate, do you really want a giant info dump in the entire fucking first hour of the movie?
The MOP movie, Zack Snyder cut, 6 hours.
In the first special, anyway. We didn't get we didn't even know much about Equestria when Gen 4 started to begin with either, so...
Yeah, but we only started to develop it. Gen 4, Equestria only started to get a little bit more of its backstory as the years went on. And even then, we still didn't get much. Especially with Hasbro constantly going on and on how we're totally going to explore Equestria in the later seasons. Where did that go? Oh, wait, it didn't happen.
Well, when I heard what became of that is because, like, Lauren Faust had originally intended for us to see more of Equestria. Shit, but the problem was that these characters had, like, basically jobs and lives that they had to deal with, too. So, yeah.
That's a good point.
That's a bit of a giant block in the road. Like, but you could just be excusing, like, I would have to get, like, ask for a day off from my job in order to make something work, you know? But the other of which is that Lauren had a lot of her ideas planned out, and Hasbro just threw a giant wrench into them, and they had a fight with each other in terms of what artistic liberties were matching what, and that's why she left. But I think this is... Like, I just came back after getting a glass of water, and I only heard portion of this. I don't know how it all started, so feel free to correct me. I think it's just a case of just trial and error in terms of how Season 4 managed to gain a wider audience. And G5, they may have something in the works that could help work out to appeal whatever the current demographic is.
Yeah.
And the whole message about, sorry if I'm taking over too much, about the whole message of racism being overused, or how Josh put it, saying that it's too ham-fisted. I think this is because racism is still a relevant issue, that we haven't gone past it.
I mean, that's gonna happen. I mean, this is something that some people usually tend to forget. Racism is unfortunately a human trait that is never gonna go away.
I mean, you look at that fucking picture of that little girl who was protested against by a bunch of white moms for being desegregated into a school. That was back in like 1966. Most of those women are still around today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And again, half of the time, it's because of the generations that we learned from it.
So, when taking this into account, because, like, somebody's just said that racism probably won't ever end, I think we need to be reminded all the time. So, if it has to be ham-fisted, it has to be ham-fisted.
Yeah, it just depends on how well executed it is.
That's also why I didn't take that big of an issue when Voice of Reason had his feelings on Bridal Gossip and how ham-fisted the message was on that part. Because
I can see that.
I lost my train of thought there. God damn it, I had a brief fart.
Oh, the Bridal Gossip episode where he was basically saying, like, this is the worst episode.
He hated it so ridiculously big because they ham-fisted the message too much. I'm like, well, it is a sensitive topic. I think they need to make it extremely clear that it's not okay.
Also, they say this is the worst episode ever. Oh, buddy, wait till you get to the later seasons.
He's already...
This was at the time, though.
But anyways, like...
Yeah.
I don't know, the message didn't seem too ham-fisted. I don't know, it kind of reminded me of our sad reality sometimes and shit, so that kind of brought me out of it. But anyways, like, I got enough out of the film that I'm curious to see what they're going to do with the series.
Same.
I want to see what the fuck happened. I'm still curious to see who the final cast for the show is, because I doubt very much that most of these actors will return for the series.
You want to know what's also ham-fisted in terms of topics? Not racial topics, but in terms of topics?
What?
Pro-mayor.
Galaxy.
You
are the source of that. You are the only source of that.
Yes.
Hey, Ryley.
Yeah?
Deus Ex Machina.
Deus Ex Machina.
No, Deus Ex Machina. That's... no.
I love that so much. Like, we were watching that movie and just everything about that movie is so ham-fisted that it's great. Like, this is like the positive type of ham-fisted.
Anyways.
Yeah. We should go to another topic.
Well,
or if Panda were to basically talk.
Panda had to step away for something going on.
Okay.
I just got a DM from her. Something's going on her end. So if she's off,
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening in. I'm quiet.
Okay.
Are
you gonna
I'll
be
give
okay?
my quick 2 cents, but then I'll give my quick 2 cents and then I'll
head off. Okay.
My opinion on the movie, let alone it's a good kids movie, but other than that, I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed the music, the animation. Beautiful, the backgrounds were very gorgeous, the art was... I love the subliminal messaging just here and there, especially when it came to Unicorn and Pegasi. Just hearing how they basically... How do I explain this? How they view each other, and then how the exact opposite of that is. Because for Earth Ponies, it's like, Earth Ponies... according to the other two races, are dumb, they're slow, they don't know how to do anything, but it turns out they're one of the most technologically advanced, except for the Pegasi. Like, they're building these contraptions, and they're building these things, and then you have Pegasi, who are brutes, they're
harsh,
like, evil, and they'll come and kidnap you from the skies, but it turns out they're like high class. They're fancy, they don't even want to get their hoot. And then unicorns... I don't think unicorns really want to kidnap and brainwash people, but they seem just relaxed.
And just chilled and laid back.
Don't even care half the time.
Hippie.
Yeah.
Just that one unicorn, like an apple falls on her. Pff, ow.
As for, like, sitting down and... Ooh, you said a bad word.
I could just say the word mayonnaise and watch him go bing bong, bing bong.
So you said you were
The
peeved?
sad thing is that might actually be. I brought this up after I saw the movie, but the mayonnaise joke might be a reference to what's it called? Robot Chicken. There was an. If you don't know, in Robot Chicken, there is a unicorn called Mayonnaise.
Oh, no.
No.
And if you know where that unicorn does, you would know.
No.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, and it's like, I sat there and I was like, I don't know where to put this, but yeah, this might be like a hot reference to Robot Chicken, and we just don't know.
All right, you got me curious. I'm gonna go see what this
No,
is.
Def, don't.
Robot Chicken's
Yeah.
related, so be careful.
You know what? Fine. No, let him do it. Let him be traumatized. Let him have PTSD.
Let him
just
li-
let him
let,
have.
let him live and learn.
Yeah, just let him.
All right.
No,
Just let him.
he's an adult. He's like 26. He's fine.
All right.
Yeah, but other than that, as for like expectations, I felt like it was really rushed. I don't know. I don't know if I'm the only one that felt like this. It extremely rushed
Oh, I get
compared
it.
to what I was expecting. Because you got the whole arc, I get it. The whole kids arc, they have to travel, but we don't get to see them travel. We just they're like there for a hot second, and then they're finally at the. We don't get to see the distance they traveled or how distant these ponies are. We know that the Pegasi are in the mountains, but we never got that real traveling scene.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But I did love the
Oh.
music.
Sorry.
I'm a big music buff, and even cheesy, catchy
Same.
songs that get stuck in your head are some of my favorites.
How about the rap?
No.
But yeah, that is.
Yeah. Also,
It's the morehead on your
Okay.
forehead. It's the source of your
because
pride.
your pride. Also, we didn't talk about this. It's a minor, like, I'm a sucker for attention to detail. If you couldn't tell by my art sometimes. The amount of brand references that they use on the Pegasus land is just amazing. Especially the Terminator one.
ZBS.
Also,
Yes, and fucking
Alright.
Spotify.
All right, go ahead, Panda.
Also, by the way, Sleepy, the song. I don't know if it's for all the songs. I haven't looked it up, but I do know for the song, "You're Gonna Fit Right In," it's extended. The version that we get is a cut down version, but the original.
Oh,
is
that's what I was.
extended.
No, that's what I was basically rapping to when I basically went fucking interlude, go all make a scene kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, I bought
Yeah.
the album.
I just saw the Robot Chicken clip.
Why
Good.
would
Let
you
the
do that to
trauma flow
yourself
through
there,
you.
Daph? Why would you do that to yourself there, Daph? Why?
It's like I started to realize what the video was, but I never actually really looked into what the joke was.
Def, let the trauma flow through you. There'll be
I'm
10
gonna-
years. There'll be 10 years of your life you'll never get back.
I'm gonna lay down now and shoot myself.
With that,
Is it
I
mayonnaise
Going the old
cheese?
Ernest Hemingway, Ray.
thank
Huh?
you, Golden, for letting me on to this magical, wonderful.
All right. Have a good night, and I wish you a good recovery, Pickles or Panda.
Get better, Panda.
I'll be good.
Later, Panda.
Later.
All right.
Russia.
So, Kingdom Hearts trash, we have Bat, and we have Golden.
Yep.
Como say.
So, wait,
All
what
right.
topic are we going to talk about?
Well, before we get to it, I will say this. Even though that this has been a topic here, I still plan on reviewing the My Little Pony movie at some point in the future. It's still going to take a bit because I had some real life shit going on. So anybody who's watching this, or if anybody ever asks, like, when are you going to review the movie yet? I am getting to it. I'm not going to say too much about it, but it's going to be a slightly new format that adds on to when I get back into reviewing My Little Pony material later down the line. Once again, that's just reflecting on how just whatever the fuck happened in the summer. I was just in a really bad, like, burnout phase. And I just hope that doesn't happen again. I have an idea of how to, get back into doing things. Like, I think script writing is one of my most difficult, because trying to make everything cohesive. Like, there's taking notes, but then there's like, shit, how do I put all this together? Because, like, okay, so be honest with those of you who have ever had the experience of sharing your thoughts on something. How often do you try to avoid going over summary? Anybody at all?
I do review certain albums on a website, so
Yeah, because, like...
not fun.
Yeah, like, because when it comes to doing, like... Because you don't want to, like... Because you want to trim down the fat. For some reason, I still keep getting Twitch notifications, even though neither of the two are active here. It's very tricky doing that, and that's one of the big things, especially when I'm, like, making reviews that are over 20 minutes. I have to look for any nook and cranny as possible to make sure that it doesn't come off as, like, oh, so this episode begins with this and that and such. Like, that's already become, like, nostalgia critic formulated material, which it's something that everybody, it's more of a safe side. Sometimes I may have to come to that at times, but otherwise, I like to categorize everything without making it feel like, okay, here's the story, here's the characters, and there's this. Try to deliver something different instead of, doing the same format and everything. I am overstating this too much. We're ready to move on to the next topic here. I think everybody has already said their piece on the new generation. I thought it was very, very enjoyable. That being said, let's move on to something else that I was recommended to look at. The Ghost and Molly McGee. At the very least, we're talking about the pilot episode. So, anybody who hasn't seen it yet, the pilot episode is still available on YouTube for free viewing. The show itself, you'll find it on Disney Plus. With all these creatures that I'm currently hearing, I'm guessing a lot of you all are very excited. So I'll let you take the floor.
Ghost and Molly McGee.
Galaxy
Ray.
really loves it.
Hey, Ray.
What?
You want to do the thing?
No.
You want to do the thing?
No.
Want to do the thing?
No.
You want to do the thing?
No.
Please?
Niet.
Please?
Niet.
Please?
Ryley, you might as well say yes because she's not going to stop asking.
Never.
Please?
2 hours. Watch, it's like 2 hours later. And then it just continues.
I mean, if Galaxy wants to extend the podcast, it's up to her.
I do want to extend the podcast. I want to milk this shit.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Galaxy, I'm going to put you in the sink if you don't stop.
Just
All right.
talk about the...
All right. But also, Molly McGee is one of my favorite. Like, Molly McGee in character is just such good writing. Like, I'm gonna be real. Besides Owl House, I've never actually had. Shut the fuck up. You will not believe your eyes of 10 million fireflies. But, besides Owl House, I've never actually had any interest with the shows on Disney up until this. Mostly because I feel like some cartoons are the same. Well, not really. It's not some CalArt shit, but kind of feels, yeah. Anyway, the
Dare
fact that,
you?
No, anyways, the fact that fucking, what was it? What grabbed me the most in this movie, as someone who does facial expressions, is the amount of facial expressions that they give in the show is just, oh, yes, serve me some good food here. Thank you very much. Thank you.
The facial expressions are very good.
Yes, the facial expressions are fucking spectacular for me. Like, I am a sucker when it comes to that shit. Also, the fact that we have a good cartoon, like, here's the thing. This show is flawless in its own right. And you know why? We have good writing, good parents, We have good protagonist, self-aware meta humor, and
the word
also
meta is
very
dead, Galaxy. You need to use a different word.
and also a lot of things. Shut the fuck up, Ryley, or I will twist your dick again.
You didn't do it the first time, and I don't
Sleepy,
want you
please
to
don't
either.
say that.
But the thing about this show for me is just I haven't had, besides Amity lesbian show, I haven't had a good like most of the cartoons that I've seen on Disney besides DuckTales is just okay cute. You know what I mean? Like some of the cartoons that I've seen on Disney as of late, well, except the what was it? In terms of Western, besides the what was it? The one that has the same studio with Hilda and Ghost and Molly McGee. Other than that, it's okay. But Ghost and Molly McGee is just amazing, especially with the art style it went with, and a technical aspect, you know. And also the pilot does it very justice. Like it sets the theme very well. It's a lot more comedic. And also the ghost doesn't do the haunting. The girl does the haunting and that's like mwah, stellar.
Yeah, but
Stellar. Sparkle, sparkle, stellar. Ooh.
anything else, Galaxy?
It's good. Ryley, talk about Ghost and Molly McGee. I will hold you at gunpoint.
So I saw this. What was it like? I think it was like a year ago. They showed like a little clip of this show, and I was instantly hooked when I heard Dana Snyder's voice. It's fucking Master Shake from Aqua Teen Hunger Force as a fucking ghost, and yeah, that's just a big yes for me.
Yes.
And he's just perfect. He is.
Isn't the ghost or Scratch voiced by the person from Chowder? I don't remember his name, but it was like
yeah, he played the guy with the stand. What was his name?
he had Musk. Not Musk. He had
looked like
Tusk.
an elephant. Yeah, he looked like an elephant.
Yeah. I forgot his name, but I know it was like the dude with the blue attire and shit.
Yeah, he's also the alchemist in Venture Brothers. Anyways, it's like I liked the story setup. Like, I'm not expecting a super dark show like all these guys who are like expecting to go full dark. Like, I'm expecting a little bit of a story with the whole High Council thing and that one guy who looks like motherfucking death. And
He's right here.
No, death. Not death.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Christ, Sleepy. Get dark, why don't you?
You're saying deaf is now death?
Yes.
That seems
He
like
is
an
deaf.
insult almost.
No, he likes death metal, so it's not really an insult.
Oof.
But anyway, continue on, Ryley Percival Miller.
The characters are very interesting. I like the dad is just like this super upbeat yet anxious-ridden dad, voiced by Jordan Klepper from the fucking Daily Show. And then there's the mom, who's just like, well, the really competent mom who has her own like fucking, what would you call that? Like fucking not Uber Eats, but like
Her
It was like
her job application thing.
yeah.
What would be a?
And then there's
It's
the
not
fucking
Uber Eats. It's not Uber Eats. It's like probably some sort of twist, like some sort of parody version of it.
Then there was fucking Andrea, the fucking Instagram model.
I'm sorry,
TikToker.
it's Andrea, not Andrea.
Oh, God.
I don't like her, honestly. I feel like she's just she's the stereotypical annoying bad
Bratty bitch.
bully. Yeah, which I don't like. It's like it's one of the most dumbest character cliches shoved into a TV.
I already
fair.
had Diamond Tiara vibes off of that bitch.
To be fair, we kind of got a similar character from Pacifica Northwest, so I'm kind of expecting a bit of that.
Yeah, but the thing about Pacifica Northwest is that they actually gave her like some context, some sort of like backstory to why she's the way she is.
No, but we didn't get until later on, so it's not like
Yeah.
we knew right
If you're
away.
going to, if you're gonna make these type of bully characters and then develop them afterwards, make it natural and progressive, and not just like, oh, you hated this character for so long, but oh, there's just another story that you didn't think about or something like that. I'm like, don't turn that around and make us feel like shit after the amount of God knows what period of time, and have a change of heart, because that's just you're making a nasty turnaround, and it's never fun.
Sorry not to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
I'm kind of trying to remember. There was a show that actually had a bully character, but they actually later on started to progress them into a much more different context, especially when you saw a little bit of their backstory. But I can't fucking remember which show it was. The only other show that comes to mind is, ironically, of all things, because I've read about it, Arthur. But then again, with Arthur, it at least makes sense considering it's targeted towards little kids.
Yeah.
Much younger little kids.
I don't know, maybe it's because I like little shit characters. Like in terms of
why.
I wonder why.
like, here's the thing. I am like, okay, you want a bad example of little shit characters, and it's kind of pathetic.
Okay.
Rose Red's Emery. I wanted to sock that bitch wide open. I hate him.
I
Like,
remember that.
He is a little shit. No, I love the fact that he's a little shit. It's just that the way that Stephen King writes him is just like, God, I just want to sock you, please. Can I have the consent of punching you in the face?
It's like you kind of.
He's not even lovable. That's the thing.
Yeah, she's talking about Emery.
Yeah.
I don't like him. Also, the fact that Diamond Tiara, I don't know. Maybe it's just for personal reasons. I love her, but for the most part, Andrea is such like a little shit, and I love her so much because she's just like this like Gen Z influencer, and I love it to bits.
I also love how like Molly's friend is like the voice of Kari from Digimon.
Oh yeah, I absolutely fucking love Libby. Libby is just so damn precious. Every single episode she's in, I just want to hug her because she's such a dork. But at the same time, you just want to pull her to the side and tell her that everything's gonna be okay.
She's such a cinnamon roll, and I love her.
Apparently the next episode's gonna be about her because it's revealed that they're gonna celebrate her bar mitzvah.
Oh yeah, I saw the screenshot. What do you guys think of the whole musical aspect of the show?
I'm about to commit sin. I don't give a fuck. And I could be biased because I've always had an animosity towards this show. The musical numbers are fucking better than Phineas and Ferb's musical numbers. There, I fucking said it.
Well, I can't really find much to say about Phineas and Ferb because I never watched them.
Because, like, the thing with Phineas and Ferb is that...
I'm sorry, sir? I'm sorry? How?
Because, like, for me, when it came to Phineas and Ferb, it just felt like the musical numbers were just shoved in just so they could have a character sing. The only
Def, you can go on your day, okay, talk about the music. I'm fine with that. I'm just talking about Golden, because he said he has never watched fucking Phineas and Ferb. Sir?
So Phineas and Ferb was out at a time when I was focused on other things. Also, Galaxy, you're talking to somebody who's more relegated to cinema and movies compared to television.
I mean, yeah, but again, you watch MOP.
I got into MOP because that was just a widely spread phenomenon, and you cannot deny how widespread the brony fandom became compared to something like Phineas and Ferb. Phineas and Ferb didn't have a giant fandom over the course of 10 years.
I mean, he's not wrong.
But so did fucking Phineas and Ferb. Oh my god, so does Phineas and Ferb, because now, like,
Okay, look,
Now
I'm
we
not
have,
saying.
a whole ass spin-off about fucking Milo Murphy's Law, and that's just like that kind of shows.
I'm
something.
surprised that was still a thing.
It's still a thing. But yeah, for the most part, I'm just like, Def. While I do appreciate your sentiments and you had to let it all out, I'm just more angry at Golden.
But anyway, like one of the things I tend to get very frustrated with Phineas and Ferb, and one of the reasons I just never bothered with the show, on top of the fact that fucking Disney had a tendency of constantly making fucking marathon upon marathon of the show, even though it was still in its fourth season. I just did not like the musical numbers. The musical numbers were just tagged on, and they just didn't feel very straightforward.
Def, what about the Simp song?
Nope.
Fuck off.
Also, Def.
But anyway, the only time I felt that the musical numbers made sense was any time there was a musical element to it, like the episode where McGee, the dorky Indian character, decides he wants to get a good grade by being a fucking rocker. That at least makes sense. The getting the band back together episode, which I actually do like.
Love him.
And the one-hit wonder song. Yeah?
AGLET, don't forget it.
I'm going to throw these Cheetos mac and cheese at your head.
Hey, I still have that. I need to eat that at some point.
Don't eat it. It would hurt your arteries. Don't do it.
I'm gonna do it anyway. But anyhow. But again, that's one of the reasons I absolutely could not stand Phineas and Ferb. And honestly, aside from those factors, I just didn't care for the fucking show. But with the Ghost and Molly McGee, the music and numbers actually feel natural, and they actually fit for the context of the story. They don't just randomly come in just because, Phineas and Ferb want to do something, and they have to shove in a fucking a random pop song for 2 minutes. Molly McGee at least kind of just sneaks it in and makes it entertaining. I mean, I'm not saying that the songs of Phineas and Ferb weren't entertaining. I mean, that's one of the reasons everyone fucking dick rode them. But at least the Ghost and Molly McGee ones feel straightforward. They come off as very cute and entertaining, and not to mention
Saturday morning cartoon nostalgia. We love that.
And they also make it pretty fucking funny. Like in the episode where Molly's trying to make Brighton's softball team actually win, they include a relatively cutesy but funny song about pretty much trying to win. But then when it comes to Scratch basically using his powers to help her out, therefore cheating, you hear the song, but you hear little snippets in the background going, and cheat, and cheating, and cheat, and cheating! Like, that's clever! In comparison to Phineas and Ferb's going, hey, we wrote a song about the fucking plastic of the shoelace!
Hey, but if we didn't hear that, we would never remember what that's called.
Who cares about the plastic of the shoelace?
I care about the plastic at the end of the shoelace.
What lives matter, bitch?
I am going to throw my can of soda at you,
Which are
too!
called
Aglet lives
Aglets,
matter.
motherfucker.
#Aglet lives matter. Okay.
Jesus
Put that
Christ.
in the chat.
This call, like, damn, that debate, that was filled with such passion right there, Def. Fuck me.
Fuck him in the ass, bro.
Not like that! Not like that! What the fuck? Hey, I may like dick and tit, but not like that.
You have a gremlin in this call. You have no right to say anything about that.
I'm going to
You can't
eat
do shit, Sherlock.
Jeff is going to destroy everybody in this call.
Not if not. Ooh.
All right. Anything else on Ghost and Molly McGee?
It's good. Everybody,
Good.
it's good. Watch it.
All right. So,
Anyway.
Hey, I feel
Again,
like
Molly McGee.
Joey could do a good Scrat impression.
What?
I feel like Joey would love Scrat.
Well, we'll see what happens. So, okay, so who hasn't gone yet? Because I know that Sleepy went. Def had a lot to say about Ghost and Molly McGee. Ryley?
Well, Golden, it's your turn.
All right, so, as I said before, my experience in watching other shows outside of MLP are extremely minimal. The furthest that I was catching up with and didn't even finish was Steven Universe. I've only watched, like, the first episode of Steven Universe Future, and then I lost my way since then. This is mainly because I'm geared more towards cinema and TV, but I'm always struggling and willing to anticipate anything that's there, to whether it's good or not. Anticipating to the next episode or whatnot has always been a bit like off the rails, to where like I will say this, like Agretzko, which apparently that's how it's pronounced, but it's spelled Agretzko. I watched the first season, loved it. I watched the third season, loved it. I didn't watch the second season, and that's because I didn't get around to it. That is how off the rails I get. So, even though we're talking about the pilot episode here, I don't know if whether or not I'll be able to watch the Ghost and Molly McGee in the series entirely, or if I'm just going to completely zone out and focus on so many other things, because I also have some real life shit to handle. So,
Yeah.
So with that being said, I think that Ghost and Molly McGee definitely serves something of, I find refreshing, at least based on my knowledge of whatever cartoon shows
Same.
were around. They mix this horror element with a little girl who, at first, you would think, or at least from my perspective, that girls would be terrified of ghosts or monsters, but she's such an out-of-place character trait. Kind of like how Lilo was from Lilo and Stitch, in that sort of regard. And I like that kind of aspect because it definitely, like, emphasizes the outcast sort of feeling. I've noticed that outcast sort of traits have been relatable to a lot of people. They feel like they don't fit well with, like, anybody else. But she has this way of trying to be optimistic with everything as possible. And I think that's a hilarious spin on just this ghost who wants to ruin Molly McGee's life and scare her away. Meanwhile, the ghost himself has his own issues to deal with, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be open later down the series, because there is a whole different world that it's their job to scare people away, regardless of what they encounter.
They have to keep people miserable.
Yeah, they have to cause all kinds of misery in order to keep afloat, which I'm pretty sure there would be a reason somewhere. I hope it's explained, but they do end it on a cliffhanger that what the ghost did. Like, Molly was at her lowest, and the ghost was like, why do I feel like I have to do this? Screw it, I'm going to help her now. Which, I'm pretty sure there's something that may have had to do what his real life was before he became a ghost. But, you know, these are just open to interpretation, at least so far. That bully girl again, what's her name?
Andrea.
Andrea. Yeah,
Not Andrea Golden, Andrea.
she can fuck off.
Mood.
Yeah, no, we've already touched upon that before. But yeah, no, I'm already getting like Diamond Tiara vibes. And no, I still don't forget Diamond Tiara even after Crusaders of the Lost Mark. The writers had 5 years to develop her character, and now they're trying to turn it around and make me feel bad for her. Go fuck yourself. Yeah, I at least hope that at least through the first season, they do something more with Andrea's character and not just make her this static character until, like, something happens to her and we're all supposed to feel bad for her now. Nope. It doesn't work for me. If somebody's being a bitch or an asshole and constantly an asshole, then I'm just not going to care. It's that simple. You got to make a character more well-rounded and more organic. It's just don't try to pull off this, like, flashcard right in my face. It's not going to work.
The Uno reverse card, basically.
The Uno reverse card, yeah. Because, like, there was another show, I'm trying to remember. The Craig at the Creek. The main character, his brother was a dick. And they decided to make his life miserable by going to a restaurant that he works at and then they pulled the Uno reverse card after they've, like, did, like, almost every fucking thing possible. And it's just, no! This isn't gonna work!
Yeah.
Yeah, so if somebody's being a dick, you better know what you're doing. Anyways, I've said enough about that. Goes to Molly McGee. I hope to take a look at the rest of it. For those who haven't seen it yet, the series is available on Disney Plus. You could check it out. So far, I think it has a really good start. Are we ready to move on to the next topic?
Yes.
All right. So, this one, the trailer for Lightyear, I am super excited about. Yeah, I am super excited about this. I don't think there's going to be much to say here because it's a teaser so far, but there's like little bits and pieces that we could definitely like talk about. So, yeah, I'll be the first to say that I love the idea of having these own movie universes that are based off of the characters from Toy Story 1. I mean, the very idea of Buzz Lightyear and what his actual franchise was, I'm open to that. Like, I didn't really think too much about it, but when it was announced that there was a movie of this, I'm like, I can get down with this. I can go with this. Like, yeah. So, again, the teaser so far has only shown so much. I'm pretty sure that we're going to get a much better detailed plot. Like, it's basically just how he explores the universe, essentially. And I'm pretty sure other people would have some things to say in that regard, because I could be missing something here.
I feel like we should have Robin in the call right now. Jesus.
Gosh.
Dude, I fucking DM'd her. I DM'd her the fucking trailer. I wonder if she thinks this looks absolutely rad. Like, I would imagine her saying that.
She did gush about it on Twitter. She did agree that it looked
I thought
amazing.
that she would be like pissing and squirting when she saw the Lightyear trailer.
Squirting. Pissing and squirting, Jesus.
Because, like, the fact that she literally... No, okay, context. If you know Robin's Year 928, you know damn well how she basically talks about fucking Toy Story all the damn time, okay? She had a whole ass, like, shrine dedicated to Toy Story. So, the fact that she literally has Buzz Lightyear, who actually looks like her for some fucking reason, is so, like... I'm happy for her, if anything, that she gets, like, a Buzz Lightyear fucking spin-off movie. And it looks pretty good in terms of budget. Like, holy shit, the
it's
animation...
Pixar! Of course it's gonna look amazing!
I know it's Pixar, but it's still fucking good. Wait, they had some like, back pedals. What was that one movie? Was it, like... Oh, what was it?
You're probably
was it
thinking
Onward?
of TV.
Is Onward there?
What? What's it about?
The Onward movie.
Oh.
The one with the father and son. Is that from Pixar?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
They had some back pedals in terms of, like, movies. Onward. But the fact that fucking the fact that Buzz Lightyear gets to have his own movie is so good. Especially with how, like, the budget for the animation is everything to me.
Also,
especially with how the humor sets to be really good in that movie.
Also, if I may...
Yes?
Can I just gush at the fact that they chose, of all songs, David Bowie's fucking Starman?
Yes! Because it's fitting, you know? It's very fitting.
There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to meet us, but I think he'd blow our mind.
So I just got a message back from Robin, and yeah, she says, and yeah, the trailer looks fucking rad as hell. I knew it! I knew she was gonna say that word. But she unfortunately, like, I was gonna ask her to join in on the call, but she's got a sore throat. And she's been going through some real life bullshit. I do wish her the best. But yeah, I would have loved to have heard her gushing in the call. Like, yeah, it looks fucking rad! Like, I hear that a lot.
I would expect her to be like, I would expect her to be like, yeah! Toy Story, yeah! Toy Story, yeah! Woo! That's what we've been waiting for! Like the fucking critical thing. Oh, I would love that. I feel like she was like, yeah.
But like, okay, so something else I should mention is that this is a bit of a weird thing mentioning this. So the voice casting they have here, they're having Buzz voiced by Chris Evans, who was
Chris Evans.
Yeah, Chris Evans, who was Captain America. For whatever reason, I was not mad about that. Like, I was pissed when I received word that Chris Pratt was voicing Mario. I'm like, dude, Charles Martinet is right there. I think the big reason is that Mario's voice is so heavily distinct, whereas Buzz Lightyear has more of that very manly type of voice that, as much as I enjoyed the humorous stuff that Tim Allen provided over the years, like with Chris Evans, I think he can still match up to the tonal idea with what Buzz has in his personality. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I mean, he is Captain America, so
yeah,
he definitely got it in the bag.
So I'm kind of cool with this one. But yeah, see, I think that's just more so the fact of just how it would work. And like normally I would be upset about this for like quote unquote star power, as long as they're able to get the job done in terms of acting and such. Because I think there's more to finding a cast than just star power, which I still can't get over with the whole casting of Chris Pratt as Mario. Because it was even said that Charles Martinet would voice Mario until the day he died. He loves voicing Mario so much. So it's like, it's right there! Nintendo Illumination, why? Because Chris Pratt makes more money.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Just, I hope the Mario movie still comes out good. But back to Lightyear, I'm very confident about this movie. Like, I'm just like, I have this immediate reaction of, shut up and take my money! I'd be down for this. Something that I would hope for in the future, and I'm guessing some people would think this through, that after, like, let's say Lightyear becomes very successful, Pixar would tackle on Woody for, like, Woody's Roundup or something. I'm like, I'd be down with that.
That would be nice.
A nice Western flick from Pixar, like, ooh, man, I'd love that.
Oh, yeah.
Pixar doing a spaghetti western. Like, you have the spaghetti western and this intergalactic sci-fi movie hand in hand with each other. Pixar, yeah, and with Pixar having a very good track record with a few bad eggs, you know, back and forth. I know that I shouldn't be holding my breath and setting expectations high, but I do hope that Pixar does tackle on the other end with the Toy Story characters and make these individual movies about them. You know, it's kind of like, I feel like they're doing an anthology in a way without making too much in your face. It's more just like their world and where they come from. What?
Ooh, you know what I want?
What?
Now that this is settled, you know what I want?
What?
A Bo Peep movie.
Oh, that would be interesting.
I know.
I
know. She was like, at one point, the only time that she was actually pretty badass was at Toy Story 4. But that would be pretty fucking cool to see her more of a badass in the movie that she would probably get, but not really. But I also would want that. Thank you.
Well,
sorry, go ahead, go.
Well, I just hope I'm not missing anything here. I thought it was really cool that, like, the ship takes off and it's, like, flying around the sun. Like, you could see that there's, like, a face shield or some kind of, like, sun-shaded shield to protect him from getting burned or something like that. But, like, there's some kind of technology they're going for right there and whatever worlds they're in. It's just opening so many opportunities, or just it's opening itself up with what the movie's going to show, and it definitely has a lot to offer. Oh yeah, that's right. There's some kind of mechanical or robotic kitten that's been sitting around. Like, it just, like, it comes to life in a weird way, and Buzz is like, "What the fuck is that thing?" And there's also a short shot where you see the cat plugged in with its tail, and it's spinning around, going all people, 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 people. And I'm guessing that's supposed to be like somewhat of a comic relief, the R2D2 or BB-8 of this movie or something.
Something like
Probably.
that.
I have a feeling that they're going to try to give it like somewhat of a Star Wars sort of essence in the idea of there's going to be like some kind of robotic comedic character with the main character doing serious shit, and there's like a sign of betrayal or what have you. And just by mentioning that, I'm not expecting this movie to be on par with Star Wars. I like it that it's its own entity with an intergalactic science fiction sort of film.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
You good.
But yeah, like I'm saying more than enough about. I've said more than enough of my piece on Lightyear. I'm really, really ecstatic on checking this movie out when it comes out next year. I'm sure you guys would have something more to say, or is it just me hogging the limelight?
No, I can definitely
We
understand
basically
it.
said. Also, I think the Robin thing is what I really got out of it. I'm like, oh, she's gonna like
Yeah,
throw things. She's gonna break her own computer. She's probably going to like throw her Toy Stories out the fucking window, or she would just throw like her pillows onto the closet, or she would just like wear her fucking. She would
What?
attach like with like duct tape of like Toy Story merch all over her body or some shit. And just
Galaxy,
be
what
like,
the fuck?
yeah, like
I am
something
very
like that. What, Riley?
I am very confused.
Okay, so we were talking about the Buzz Lightyear movie, the trailer for it specifically, and what I got out of it is just I could only imagine her reactions that are not kosher a lot, not kosher enough for this channel, but I feel like that would be the same energy as you if you were to when Sora basically was like into Smash or some shit. I thought you were gonna like throw your PC or just like basically just like throw away your stuff. You would kick your chair or just like fucking like start a riot or some shit. And no,
would
you
have.
just
I was tired as fuck. That's why.
I know, but that's disappointing. Well, on the other hand, I also kind of understand you were that kind of mentality where it's like, okay, on the outside, I feel dead. On the inside, there's like glow sticks on my hand. But on the other hand, I thought that you were going to break your TV or something, or just like
Again,
throw water
I was
at your
tired
PC.
I was
I know.
tired half.
I know, and that's why I was disappointed. Because I thought that maybe you would have this over the top fucking reaction to Sora, but no, you went like on Discord. Okay, all right. ... Okay. Parentheses. ... Smiley face. Okay, send. And I was like, bitch! I waited for you to spam my notification, my text notifications, but no, you went with, but no, you were tired. I can completely understand, but still. But yeah, the Buzz movie looks good.
I love how you went on such a random tangent and then you went back. Oh yeah, the Lightyear movie looks good. So yeah, it's set to hit theaters next summer. I just hope that COVID doesn't prevent this movie from like being released or gets postponed because of, you know, the recent shit. Because that's what's been going on with Top Gun. Like that's been postponed again for the past like 2 years now. I think the Ghostbusters is going to be out next month at some point. I would be down just checking that out, you know. But anyways, yeah, Pixar, I am looking forward to this. I'm completely down with it. So I've already exhausted my feelings on that. I think we're ready to move on to the next topic. And this is something that I'm pretty sure Ryley has not seen yet, so he's going to feel a little left out.
Oh yeah, Squid
Hey,
Game. Yeah,
Squid Game!
Hey, Golden, there's a show that I like on Netflix.
Oh, gee, what is that, Galaxy?
Oh, it's a show about Korean Hunger Games. Well, it's basically too many Pinkie Pies, but Korean. So we should watch it, Golden. We should talk about it, Golden. We should talk about it on
Hey,
the
Sleepy.
podcast. So that
Hey,
way it'll
Sleepy.
get exposure. Yeah, what?
Red light, green light,
Do-do-do-do. Green light,
red light.
red light.
Hey, Golden.
Yes.
Galaxy,
Yes.
time for the honeycombs.
You open it up and you see that it's an umbrella. Oh shit.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
actually eating honeycombs as we speak.
It's
But
a-
not the honeycombs that we were talking about. Haha.
So, funny story behind Squid Game. When I was in a discussion, and obviously Sleepy recommended this to me, and she compared it to Hunger Games, which I can see why, but here's the major difference, at least from what I've seen. Some of you may already know this, but I really utterly hated Hunger Games with a passion, because basically you're taking poor children of like a lower class, and you're sending them off to fight each other to the death, which I thought it was utterly sick. Like, let alone hurting children. You're playing this like a sport for 70 years, and they hardly explain why. That made me so sick to my stomach. And this was a movie that was 2.5 hours, and I was in the theater, and I'm trying to like wrap my head around why does this even exist. I didn't even care about what happened in the rest of the film. It was just a very sick, disgusting premise. Some people argued that it's supposed to be some kind of social commentary about modern society or something like that. I didn't care. That was just fucking gross. That was a sick, disgusting thing to do. So that was a major thing that like completely threw me off. So being compared to that, I'm like, oh, I have a feeling I may not like it. However, the thing about Squid Game, and this is kind of going into spoiler territory, the reason why any so the reason why anybody would come to the quote-unquote the Squid Game or whatever the basic premise is that you have these people who are part of a lower class, and they're struggling on their own lives, and they're all elected secretly to become a part of something on an island where they have a series of kid games, and you win a cash prize for doing it. If you screw up, though, that's the caveat, you're fucking dead. This is not necessarily fighting to the death, but this is more about how they're going to get through a game if they really depend their lives on it or not. The other big caveat is that after the first round, people were terrified of continuing with the games. So instead of like keeping them hostage, they just say, okay, we'll have a decision here. More than half, just by margin, decided, okay, we're going to call it off. But they're living their lives so miserably that they have no choice. And they're thinking, is it worth living here? Or is it worth risking your life to get this cash prize to make your life better? That is a vicious manipulative tactic that worked in terms of storytelling. And I think that actually did a much better job. Not to mention, these are fucking adults who are basically on the edge of their lives, that they feel they have no other choice but to do it. And this is something I can kind of get down with, and not, oh, let's treat it as a sport and just throw a bunch of children who are poor and weak and fight to the death. That was disgusting. I mean, this is disgusting too, but there's something more going on with it than just, what I said before.
Yeah.
So,
I think the great thing about this movie, not this series, is the fact that they not only, because they didn't just like, oh, all poor people are poor, like, oh, they have such sad mentalities. Yes, that's the case, but it kind of depends on whose contestant you're talking about, especially the main character, which I'm very conflicted on.
I mean,
especially 001.
Yeah, no, like, I think a lot of people are kind of on that idea, because you could tell, like, at the very least, you can tell he's trying. The first episode, he tries to make a good birthday for his daughter, who apparently he's dealt with a divorce, but he tries to win, like, a simple little, like, gift or a toy for her, which turned out it's a fucking gun. that doesn't even have a mark on it. It's a fucking lighter. So it's a toy gun that lights up, but it looks way too real. And I think that's fucking hilarious that they do that. But at the same time, it's like, oh boy, that's awkward. But at the very minimal of all this, he's trying. He's just failing at it, but he's trying.
Yeah.
And compared to everyone, in comparison to the other characters, actually, no, it's kind of a lie. Because there are some decent characters who also go through their struggles, and you can kind of sympathize with them.
Mm-hmm.
The only character you can arguably not sympathize with is 101, whom...
Is that the guy with the snake on his face?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As I told Galaxy, and she ended up knowing this, I absolutely hate 101.
Yeah. No, like, he was made to be a fucking asshole. Him and there was, like, another lady who...
212.
212, okay. So, 212, oh boy. She's a manipulative bitch. But, later down the line, she gets betrayed by 101, and these two are at each other's throats. And when I see that karma strikes between these two, it's fucking hilarious in how they handle this. And not to mention, when they both go out with a bang. And this is something in which I would have to give more respect to 212 for. Basically, in one of the games, they have to take steps, and if they take the wrong step, they're dead. That's put it in layman's terms. She comes in because 101 is holding everybody else back. Like, one of you will have to go around. I'm not going to fucking die. So she comes in, grabs him, and because of how much betrayal is happening, she drags him down. Like, you're coming with me. And I'm just like, damn. Like, that is... Go ahead.
You don't betray the crazy bitches. But
I was just gonna comment on the fact that she flat out said, "Remember what I said, that if we would lose, we would die together." And she fucking kept to her word.
Yeah, no, I love that. I'm just like, you're coming with me! And I was just like, dude, that is like, the guy deserved it. The lady, I didn't like how she acted, but she had a way of going about it, and I thought that was very clever writing.
the thing about Han Min-yo, aka 212, is the fact that, well, not only, like, out of the way, fucking Def compared me to 212.
Oh, God.
Compared her to 212 mainly because of the fact that I absolutely kind of noticed how 212 and Galaxy have similar personalities. They both are very, very hyperactive. They're both very snarky.
Yeah.
And when they want to, they'll basically be blunt and very what's the word I'm looking for? Loud.
Oof.
I mean,
Galaxy, you can't lie to us that you're not loud. This is the same person who screams.
I am loud. It's just that I'm not too. I mean, but also, no. Here's the thing about 212 in terms of comedy, not tragedy, but in terms of comedy, she carried the show on her back. Like, she's probably the only comedic character in this show. Let me be fucking real here. It's not the main character, nor is it 101. He's a dick. But fucking 212 to me is like one of the most enjoyable characters. Like, I was indifferent with her because I thought, oh, she's a pick-me. She's like one of those girls that's like, I'm not like other girls, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But no, she's actually a lot more like, because I'm looking, as I speak, I'm looking at my TV on my Switch, right? On YouTube. There's a video that's recommended to me about why Han Min-yo, aka 212, is a misunderstood character in Squid Games. And I'm like, now that I think about it, yeah, she is kind of misunderstood. Like, yes, she is kind of crazy, she's kind of promiscuous, she's kind of sadistic, she's kind of obnoxious in her own way, but in her own way, she's pretty much a badass in this show. Like, the short hair girl, yes, she is a badass too, but like, her in her own way, she's a lot more like crazy badass. Also, can we just talk about the fact that she's literally 19?
Apparently, according to the show.
I can only take that. She looks a hell of a lot older than 19.
She looks like she's maybe 30 or 40.
She looks like she's 49. Are you kidding me?
The actress herself is 45.
Yeah. But she's 19 in the show.
That is an odd casting choice, if you ask me. But okay, well, I'll just roll with the punches.
Now, can I just say that while the show itself is fucking good, episode 6 is probably the most fucking emotionally gripping episode I've ever seen.
Oh, is that the marble one?
Yes.
Oh my god, the marble one.
Oh my god.
That was one of the biggest kick in the nads of an episode. Like, oh, you had to have 2 different teammates to go through this one. Oh, they're facing each other. Oh shit. And in the case of 456 competing with an old man, oh god. Oh god. Oh god.
I started to tear up when I started to realize what 456 was doing. And the worst part about it is the fact that that 001 flat out's like, I know what you're doing, but it's okay. It's okay, I understand. And just
I think he's one of those characters that's literally doomed from the start. Because not only does he have 001 in his jacket, he also has brain fucking dementia.
Yeah,
he literally says that he joined the game because he was gonna die anyway, so he just figured, why not go out in style?
And that's like, should we really give out the big ending here? Because at this point,
okay.
Like even if we give out spoiler territory, I heavily recommend watching the series.
Oh no, absolutely. Yeah. If you guys are not really interested in K-dramas, and if this is your K-drama, congratulations. But also, if you're not interested in this kind of show, you can and not care about it, you can just listen. You know.
Okay.
But yeah, the ending is pretty fucking weird. Like, that's what made me kind of conflicted with both the main character and the old man.
Like, I could see why in that regard. The thing that he makes a huge point about is it's one of 2 type of people, either somebody who has a lot of money or somebody who has little to no money. What they both have in common, they're not enjoying their lives. And when you see that this old man is involved with the games, he at least wants to live the last minutes of his life enjoying himself.
Yeah.
And I think Go ahead.
Sorry, go on. No, go on.
And that's the one major thing that a lot of us seem to overlook. We forget about how we enjoy ourselves compared to doing things that we're determined to do or doing what we're after, that you lose track of things. And I think that gave me something to think about. Along with, the whole marble competition. Like, when I saw what the revealance was, I literally paused and I had to pace around the room like, oh, fuck. How am I going to sit through this?
Like,
I literally couldn't go through most of the episode. When it came to the scenes with Sang-woo and Ali, I actually had to fast forward to them because I knew right from the get-go what Sang-woo was gonna do. I immediately went, no, you're gonna fuck my favorite boy. You're gonna fuck my favorite boy. I saw
that and I was pissed. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? But that let a good hint that he would, oh my god, dude, like he would become another challenge later down the line. But it's just like, he had a family! He had a family and you fucking tricked him! You unbelievable bastard!
I like how you guys overlooked that one, not overrated scene, but the most memorable scene in the episode 6 where one of the girls...
trust me, I know what you're talking about.
Are you talking about 067 and I think it was 17?
Yeah. The famous part where 067 or Sang Byuk, I think that's how his
something
name
like
is.
That. I didn't keep track of the names.
Yeah. The North Korean refuge, as she's leaving because she won the game, and I think it was it was player 240 or Jin Young, as Sang-byuk is leaving because she won the game. 240 decided to throw in the game because, in her words, she has nothing, whereas Sang-byuk has a life that she can try to figure out. And all you see is just Jin Young saying, "Hey, thank you for playing with me." And she just smiles as the gun is put to her head. It's like,
fuck, dude. Like, man, they really know how to make things dramatic and just, like, know how to hit the right spots.
Yeah.
And here's the thing that's even worse when you take into account what happened in the end of the fucking show. Jin Young sacrificed herself so that, Sang-byuk could actually get a chance to win the game and, you know, actually win the money so that she and her brother could have a happy life. And yet fucking 67 dies!
Yeah.
She not only did she have a stab wound to the stomach because of the last game, but she gets fucking her throat slit by Sang-woo, which just fucking made me hate him even more!
I think, they really made a huge setup right there. Like, okay, yeah, like, after what he did to,
Ali.
What's his name?
Ali Abdul.
Okay, what was his number again?
His number was, 199.
199, okay. Yeah, no, I saw that, I'm like, oh my god, like, that was a great foreshadow to making 218 such a motherfucking asshole, like, okay.
Also,
But, like, they made it subtle, because there was also some, like, other shit going on between, 456 and the old man, and what 67 had in mind with the other lady who was a refuge.
Also, can we just agree, all two of us men, can we agree that Abdul is the most precious cinnamon roll in this entire show?
He did not deserve what he got. I honestly wanted him to win, but
I was so pissed. I was like, wait, he opened up the bag and it turned out, they're just a bunch of rocks. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck?
When I realized what fucking Sang-woo was doing, I immediately started fast-forwarding all the parts with Ali, because I can't see my favorite boy die. I can't see my favorite boy die.
He is so precious. He literally almost, like, dude, we could have not had the main protagonist right now, right?
Yeah.
In the first episode, he literally saved him by just one grip in the jacket. Oh, he's so precious. He's probably the most pure one in this entire show.
But I think, honestly enough, the worst part of the show for me, and not saying that, it's the part that really pissed me off, but the part that made me so devastated, well, two of them actually. The first one being is after Gin-hun, or 556, wins the game because Sang-woo basically sacrifices himself so that he can get the huge amount of won money.
Yeah.
Which, remember, he decided to play the game because his mom needed surgery because of her diabetes.
Yeah.
And what happens when he gets home? She's fucking dead.
Yeah.
And just the way he, looks at her and he's like, "Mom, wake up, I'm home. I have the money." It's like, dude!
Oh, no.
Oh, that really fucking... I actually started to tear up at that part, too. But Galaxy was there when it happened, and I was so glad no one was home when I got to the scene. Episode 7. Throughout the entire series, you had the scene about the detective going to the island because he wanted to know what happened to his brother. He found out his brother was a competitor in the games in 2015. And all I kept thinking was, okay, two things could happen. Either A, his brother is dead. B, his brother is probably one of the contestants still somewhere in the games and is probably dead. Or, the most obvious scenario, his brother is the one doing the games.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you fucking know it? Episode 7 comes around and he's cornered by the front man and his men, and he just orders the guy to take off his mask. And the first thing out of fucking his mouth is, "Ihon." And I'm like, I knew it! I
will admit, that was pretty predictable.
I mean, it was predictable, but I screamed, and I just kept saying, "Oh my god, they actually did it! It was his brother!" I mean, I know it was predictable, but it still came as a fucking shocker. Especially considering that later on, you see that frontman does, in fact, regret the fact that he had to kill his brother. Like, you'd think that because he's the leader of some evil organization sending people to be killed in these games, he'd be perfectly fine with murder. I mean, he technically should be. Look at how many times he's killed his own fucking crew.
Mm-hmm.
But yet murdering his own blood leaves him completely shaken. I keep thinking they're probably twins, but because Galaxy didn't help matters when she kept saying 20s! So, I could be wrong, but it still nevertheless kind of gives you the idea that despite the fact that he is an evil person, you can definitely tell he did love his brother dearly, and he is very much affected by the fact he had to kill him.
Yeah.
Allegedly, anyway. Some people don't think that the detective character is dead because he got shot in the shoulder.
Yeah, cause also the other dude, he also got shot in the shoulder.
And he just shrugged off like he was treating the wound. So I don't think Jin Han, which is the detective character, is dead. I honestly think he's going to show up in season 2 somehow.
Yeah, and I do hope we see something happen with season 2 and where it goes from there. But that's still out in the open. One other thing that was also, kind of, unnerving and terrifying was, between the periods of, the next game and whatnot is, what was it? The riots. As soon as the lights are out, it's 101's idea to just go out and just start killing the fuck out of people as if it's shortening the game or some shit.
The thing is that is what they were doing. In one of the parts of the riot scene, you actually see that frontman says that they're trying to quote-unquote weasel out the weak players. So they're having the more stronger players kill off the more weaker players so that only the ones who are determined to play the game stick around.
Mm-hmm.
Also, can we just talk about technical aspects here?
Go ahead.
Budget for this show.
Oh, okay. Let me tell you something. If there's one, you can snark about K-pop all you want, right? But if there's one thing you can't sniff at, or you can't scoff at, or you can't do anything about negatively about anything Korean media, K-horror, K-dramas, and K-pop all have budgets in terms of music videos or anything that shows characters. Bro, especially with their idols like BTS, Blackpink, etc.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing you can't sneeze at is the budget they give for the settings and all that. Oh my god, the budget, especially with how Korea or South Korea basically treated an exhibition in Seoul, Korea, where they had a whole ass you remember this, Golden, right? Where they had a whole ass exhibition on Squid Games.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Yeah, I think I was gonna bring this up too. I like how the handshake thing, right? The handshake meme.
I think
so.
Okay, I'm gonna do a thing here.
Is
My
it the
Little
gumbo?
Pony. No. My Little Pony. Squid Games. Handshake. Reason being, actually being very popular very quickly in the progress, while also being released in Netflix and in October.
Oh, that meme. Basically, she's referring to the one that's the painting of Arnold Schwarzenegger and his friend from Predator going, "You son of a bitch," and then they just grab hands and tighten it. Basically, that meme.
Yeah, and the reason why I bring that up is Squid Games and MLP have something in common. Now, hear me out. That sounds a bit far-fetched, right? Because My Little Pony and Squid Games are bipolar from one another. But the thing that they have most in common is that not only are they released in October, this is just a general thing. The thing about this show and these two franchises, what they have in common is that not only they are released in October, they also in the progress basically made very quickly a very big fan base. Very big. Not in certain levels, but just My Little Pony and Squid Games basically had a whole ass franchise, right? And you would think that it would go to certain audiences, right? No, it went fucking everywhere, especially if you go to conventions, especially if you go here. Like, it's pretty everywhere is basically what I'm saying. Like, the exposure to this show and My Little Pony as well, especially when released in October, is so amazing. I don't know, maybe that's just me being very biased considering I love these two franchises, but it's kind of funny how, especially since if you put Squid Games and My Little Pony movie next to each other, you have two types of people. It's basically that kind of meme where you have people who like Squid Games and the people who like My Little Pony the movie. Especially since Squid Games and My Little Pony movie is like in the top 10 of Netflix at the moment. Like,
it's fucking night and day when you think about it.
yes. Like, you have this show where it's like, oh, we have systematic racism, but it's pony, so it's okay. And then you see South Korea being like, okay, let's touch on poor people then. All right, let's make Hunger Games, but with you know that what was that one episode? Feeling Pinky Keen, or not Feeling Pinky? Too Many Pinkie Pies. Yeah, we're gonna turn it into poor people and do it with like Korean people and stuff. That's basically what it is, and I love it for that.
A big yikes.
And yes, I love like that whole like misleading kind of stuff. I don't know what it is. Gonna be.
It's just like I'm just now imagining somebody making a meme. 1 second. Do you need help, honey?
I got it, don't worry.
Okay.
Hello, Key.
They say hi, by the way. I could tell that she's like carefully laying everything down, trying not to make a racket. It's fine, honey. Like I did warn people at the beginning of the podcast. Don't be surprised if there's racket in the background because you're making me delicious burgers.
Yeah, making homemade hamburgers.
But yeah,
Burgers are good.
it really all depends when it comes to the burgers. But
That's true.
But no, like I will not be surprised if somebody takes the "Gonna Be My Day" song and like minimize it to where it goes like gonna be, kind of like
Someone actually did that.
Oh God! Already, somebody beat me to the punch. It's kind of like the whole "won't stop coming" and they won't stop coming and they won't stop coming. Yes, Lisa B? Yes.
Squirt Games.
What the? What?
That was a whole thing on Twitter where there was like.
Okay, I think we're ready to end the discussion there. Nope, I am not going down that rabbit hole. No, let's go. Let's go to Q&A. I think we're done talking about Squid Game. For those who haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend you check it out. It's effing good.
Yes.
So, for Q&A, holy crap. Yeah, like I gotta wait, because there's always a gap between like what goes on here and what the stream shows, all that shit.
Okay, we understand.
What's up, honey?
The term
Hey, Galaxy?
What you say.
I took up half of the
Yeah,
podcast.
the delay
What?
is called latency. That's
I
when
got
you're
the
on, like, a
Cheetos
frame
mac
rate,
and cheese.
And you pick your latency speed.
I know,
You
but
pick
why?
low latency.
Because I'm morbidly curious.
I'll have to look into that.
That's what Ryley told me when he got it. Why would you do that?
All right.
I'm morbidly curious. I really want to see how these taste.
Don't spoil it for me. I want to find out too.
Yeah, I mean,
I need both of you.
I'm Mexican. This is not. I've eaten chili. This is gonna be nothing.
I know, but I just don't I don't care. I don't want you to no. No.
Pat the grumbling gremlin succubus.
I don't know. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
I'm just imagining Deafhorse patting a grumbling sleepy
Okay,
charm.
so we got ourselves a first question from Magical Starflash. Do you think Sprout could get a redemption arc? Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I will not be surprised. Like I know that he was the main antagonist of that movie, but I think this is just more of him going through his own particular problems. I mean, like, I hope that the redemption works with both Sprout and Phyllis, like, simultaneously.
I mean, Phyllis did seem to regret a lot of the, like, Phyllis in the movie did seem to regret a lot of her behavior when she realized how Sprout was taking everything too far, and she was the first person, well, not the first person, she was the one to stand right in front of him as he was riding his giant mecha machine to stop him, and his reaction was literally just, "Mommy!" Like, mate! No!
I was like, yeah.
I swear to God, if you mention
But mommy, I want to be want to play dictatorship, Mom. It's my turn to play the Xbox.
Get out, Mom! I'm playing Minecraft!
Get out, Mom. I'm playing Minecraft.
But yeah, no, I'd be down to see if Sprout could get a redemption arc. And as far as I'm concerned about redemption arcs in, the franchise's entirety, I'm not going to deny that some of the redemption arcs for, like, other characters during Friendship is Magic have been arguably sloppy, but I think that's mostly because it resorts to just how critical and how over the top they were.
Starlight Glimmer.
Oh, shut up, Ryley.
Well, hey, Starlight Glimmer at least is
Ryley was coughing
it's
Starlight
understandable.
Riley, I'm gonna open this box of mac and cheese and shove it down your throat, and then squirt fucking ghost peppers down there too.
Ouch.
Don't squirt. No, please don't say that.
What did Key say?
She said there will be no Starlight hating in this house.
Thank you!
Yes!
If anything...
Yes! Thank you. Also, Daph, don't ever say squirt ever again in any context.
Nobody say it, period.
Yeah.
Hey, Galaxy?
No.
Galaxy?
No.
Galaxy?
No.
Bean?
What the fuck did you put in here, Riley?
He likes every single time someone mentioned Starlight Glimmer, he's gonna always put the image of Starlight Glimmer being put in a blender
God
and turn
damn
into
it.
unicorn frappe.
I'm so sick of that fucking pick. Like, it's a joke beaten to death.
I think, in all seriousness, I think with Sprout, like, yes, he is he's kind of someone that doesn't take seriously. He's also made, he's one of those people that is made to be redeemable. I'm sorry. Like, that's not even a question to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, he is a childhood friend of the characters, too.
Yeah, I think that, like, because back to what I was saying earlier, the events that happen in the movie, I mean, the most that Sprout has done was tear down a lighthouse. And yeah, that's property damage. And just, like, even just by, like, a lot of people have committed some really stupid shit. Like, oh, there was stealing, there was this and that. Like, and some of which are necessary evils and everything. I think that's, like, comparatively, as much as that's ridiculous in and of itself, it's not like screwing around with humanity or just screwing around with the world.
Or, like how the other characters in MLP in the Gen 4 did. Like, let's say, I don't know, separating the races and then trying to bring back the Wendigoons and not even giving a shit that you're screwing up the entire planet?
Yeah, no, there have been comparatively more vicious commitments that are, like, more diabolical commitments compared to, whatever it is Smart did. Go ahead.
I think one of the reasons why I feel like I don't like Sprout as a villain, well, it's not even because, like, oh, he's just, like, he was convincing.
He was just misguided. Like, that's what it is.
Basically.
Well, it is. Well, it's that, but also I just can't take it. Like, I just can't. No, I'm sorry. You can say that he's a cinnamon roll all you want, but he's not a villain at all.
He is not a villain.
All right.
Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me being very, like, but I don't know. If y'all like him, that's fine, but it's like,
At the bean.
All right. So next question for Magical Star Flash. Honest question. I saw you disagree with Josh in his review yesterday in the chat. Are you mad at him? I'm going to try to say this as delicately as possible. Multiple times I don't agree with Josh in what he says in a lot of situations. And this was just me being over the top with how he felt about the movie. There are still things I don't agree with him on. And And yeah, the two of us were at each other's throats in terms of like arguments and such. I don't condone that kind of behavior towards anybody, so I take responsibility in getting that, defensive. But whenever it comes to, having different opinions, it's a roll of the dice. You're probably going to get viciously lashed back at, and that's something he had to prepare for, and I had to prepare for, somebody having a different opinion. Whenever it comes to having a different opinion on something, you do have to be ready for that. And the only real issue that I had with his recent video is that his thumbnail said that a good message doesn't excuse bad storytelling, which already in and of itself, you can tell that he's got some negative things to say. But the video itself, he wasn't really being as negative, but he was pointing things out that I don't agree with. He even said in the very, near the end of the video that the movie isn't bad, but you said in the thumbnail that it's bad storytelling. Storytelling and the quality of the film, they go hand in hand with each other. If you're saying the movie has a bad story, you're basically just implying the movie is bad. Story is the most important key element in a film.
It's a bit clickbaity, yeah, but it's like, yeah.
I think it's one of those. Okay, Golden.
Yes.
I'm gonna put in my my thing real quick. It's kind of similar with what was it? That one video. You know that video to video thing?
Yeah.
I sent. It's kind of like what I sent. Like the Steven Universe is like not perfect, but I'm not allowed to say that. And while yes, it is very misleading or clickbaity, it kind of also like I think the difference with the Steven Universe one is the fact that it's a lot more chill. You know?
Okay.
It's a lot more, yeah. But with fucking Josh Scorcher, I think it's because he not only took it too seriously, haha, get it, because his reviews are, but the thing about this with Josh Scorcher is that he not only feels like it's ham-fisted, which again, I agree, but it's also around the fact that he just doesn't like the movie as a whole in terms of like that kind of aspect, if you know what I mean. Okay. It's very misleading, yes, but he has his 2 cents on it. And I like how he went, like, I think the common thing about the Steven Universe one and the MLP one is the fact that they basically were very complex in terms of like their, their descriptions of what they're trying to say and not misleading anyone while having a misleading appearance and all that, or exterior.
I kind of feel like the reason that he titled it like that was mainly because it's sort of the thing that a lot of YouTube commentators will do these days.
They'll have an extreme reaction.
No, they won't have an extreme reaction. I mean, like, they'll do a review on something. Their review will just mainly consist of the thing they're criticizing and just be like, there's some things I like about it, the things I hate about it, but overall, it's not that bad, it's just not my thing. But yet they'll clickbait the title to hell and back. Or use a thumbnail to do that. Like, there was a video that I remember, like, there was a reviewer that, I only watched one review from him, and he mainly did a review on the new Grudge movie back from last year, which I agreed with his opinions on it. I just did not like the fact that he criticized the original series by saying that it was incomprehensible, even though that's literally the fucking point of the films. They're supposed to be all over the map. They're not telling they're telling a non-linear story. But the thing that kind of annoyed me was that some of his videos were clickbait, where the titles and thumbnails were clickbaity. Like, they would be like, the X movie is an example of terrible Hollywood making, or something along those lines.
I mean,
yeah.
At least it's not like Meliminus, who puts like the really lewd screenshots.
Oh god, the less we talk about that asshole, the better.
Yeah, I mean, I know, but I hate it when like, especially movie reviewers do that. Like, I remember seeing a thumbnail seeing a video recommendation for the Addams Family film, which I didn't see much hatred toward that one. It was just another run-of-the-mill animation film that didn't put that much effort. But yet, literally, the title of the video was, "The the future of animation. Like, oh my god. we're gonna
Yeah,
fucking
no,
go
it's
there.
it's very frustrating. They have some kind of exaggerative sort of expression on the thumbnail. As far as using the term clickbait is concerned, that's a bit of a gray area on how you're using it. When I hear the word clickbaity, you're making something that sounds misleading, or in terms of, oh, this is like the most important thing in your life, and you click it, and it's just something that is. This is why I don't make those kind of thumbnails in my videos. It's dishonest and it's ridiculous, but people use these excessive hyperbolic stuff in order to gain the views, and it's a frustrating scenario. And I hope this doesn't become the norm with YouTube.
Oh god,
To be
please.
fair, Golden, it's been the norm for YouTube for a long time. Like,
Yeah,
Fuck
I remember.
you! No!
Yeah, like one of the this is not me calling out this YouTuber, because obviously he has a big fan base. But this one YouTuber did a review for Frozen 2. Obviously, he didn't like it, and not a lot of people like Frozen 2. But he said Frozen 2 is a terrible movie. Stop acting like it's perfect, or something along those lines.
You know, like, okay, pardon me for mentioning, like, another YouTuber here. At least there's something going for it, and just by reading the title, like, it's excessive, but there's something that goes along those lines. And that was Shay Frillis, and he made a video once explaining why Shrek the Musical is hot garbage. And I'm like, okay, I'm curious to hear his input. And yeah, he had some vicious takes on it, but he also was aware, like, he gave a lot of credit where credit was due. I think that's like taking the excessive feelings and utilizing it to be constructive still, which I know that's weird to me saying that. And I have a gut feeling that Keyframe would overhear this and be like, what? Or something like that, because she liked the Shrek musical. But no,
People are allowed to like things that I don't like. I know you're talking about Shrek Frillis. He is entitled to his opinion. I disagree.
yeah, like, I don't completely agree with his opinion on Shrek the Musical. There are things I didn't like about it either, but I don't hate it. It just, I almost forgot about it until it was brought up again. But no, in regards to whether or not I'm mad at Josh, there are things that I don't agree with him on. No, I'm not strictly mad at him on that, but I did feel as though I came off a little too harshly in that regard, and that happens sometimes. When we have disagreements, sometimes we have a natural reaction to get defensive over things. So, he doesn't like the movie, he doesn't like the movie. I'm not going to hold him accountable for that, because that just wouldn't be right. What right would I have on that one when I'm one of, if not the only person who hates Mario Party 2 with a passion?
At the end of the day, everyone's a big dumb diaper baby in their own way. Just depends on what they're a big dumb diaper baby about.
Apparently.
Basically.
oh,
Kind of
I'm sure
reminds
I'm
me
a
of the
big dumb
guy.
diaper baby on something. They're
Hey,
wrong, but
hey,
I'm
Golden.
sure I'm a big dumb diaper baby somewhere.
Yes, Riley?
speaking of Mario Party 2, did you hear about how in the recent collection that's coming out?
The Superstar one?
Yeah.
They
left in the tug of rope one where you have to have your paw, where basically people use their paw.
Yeah,
to
I
go
saw
back.
that. I saw that in the IGN review, and I immediately typed in the comment, I guess Nintendo didn't learn their fucking lesson about that. Don't put rotating joystick minigames on there. You're just asking,
Yep.
begging for a goddamn lawsuit to happen again. Sorry, honey?
Just had some headache back.
Yeah. But no, like, I saw there was some maps that were references to, like, older... I do appreciate that they're giving some love to the first Mario Party game in terms of maps and such. Like, I guess they really like that Tropical Island one. My favorite map in the first Mario Party was the Rainbow Castle. But yeah, no, like, I will give credit where credit is due whenever I get around to reviewing Mario Party 2, but I'm not going to, despite what people say about, making these clickbaity, exaggerative thumbnails is going to garner attention, I just, no matter how overused it is, or how, that's the common thing, I'm not going to use that. I'm not going to derail myself to that degree. I'm just going to say, like, I will say in the video, I really hated Mario Party 2 from my childhood, you know? But I am going to break down a lot of things why I do not think it's the objectively best one. Because a lot of people say that Mario Party 2 is the best entry, and I don't know why. They say that, the maps are well balanced and everything. Okay, you talk about that, but there's, like, other features that I also had to go through that
it kind of reminds me of what my friend Brian did. He did a he basically did a review on Resident Evil 6 and why, in his opinion, it's not as bad as people make it out to be, considering that Resident Evil 6 is often hailed as the worst of the Resident Evil franchise, or at best, not as good as not as good as people originally thought it was.
Okay. So, I think we went off quite a tirade about that. So, let's go to the next question here. So, ask Fox, or did you see Star Wars Visions? No, I haven't. As far as anything outside of the sequels are concerned, I haven't paid that much attention to Star Wars because I'm just exhausted of all the toxicity around it that I just don't want to get involved with it. As far as Star Wars is concerned, I just watched the original trilogy. That's it.
That's basically, like, with me, I just don't really care for Star Wars. I mean, I will admit, I did watch the first of the original trilogy, and begrudgingly, I did see the Fox edited version of Attack of the Clones, because I didn't know any better. But, it's just not my thing, but I could definitely see why people are very passionate about it.
I mean, it's one thing to be passionate, it's another to get so vicious and vile about it that you go throwing death threats and using objectively all over the place saying, this is an objectively bad movie, which means you shouldn't like it. Kiss my ass, dude. Go fuck yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, I get it. The Disney trilogy has problems, and to say that many people hate the later films like The Last Jedi, and especially The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, is an understatement.
Yeah.
But, and this is the thing, I really wish that people, including somebody, would get through their thick skull. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean that everyone will agree with you on it. If you come across someone who actually enjoys The Last Jedi or The Rise of Skywalker and thinks they're okay movies, or that they were really good movies, or actually enjoy the fuck out of Ren as a character, despite all the reveals of her, you could just do the mature adult thing and grow the fuck up and let people enjoy the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you start to basically...
We all have shitty lives. Can we just enjoy them in certain ways?
Thank you!
Exactly!
Yeah, no,
Also,
it's... yes, go ahead, Sleepy.
This is just from speculation, and it seems like everyone seems to really like Star Wars Visions in terms of, because you know why?
Why?
Animu.
What?
Oh, it's
Animu.
animated.
Oh.
It's animated.
Okay, well,
It's
I'm sure that Star Wars Visions is good. It's just anything with Star Wars related, I'm just fucking exhausted. And, you know, that's just on me. Anybody else who enjoys Star Wars still, go right ahead, you know.
Like, the thing about Star Wars for me is just I'm kind of weirded out for it, but I'm at a point where I'm just like, I don't care anymore.
I'm at that point where I'm not actively keeping up with the series. If I think something looks interesting, I'll watch it. But like, I want to watch Visions. I just haven't gotten around to it. I've seen the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian.
And again, I'm sure it's good. Like, I might check it out. I might not check it out. But like I said before, with TV shows, it's always a challenge for me to keep up with everything, because there's a shit ton of shows that I have yet to catch up on. I haven't even spent the effort. So, on a lighter note, let's go to the next question here. Who's your favorite pony from Gen 5? Sunny.
Sunny.
Sunny. Wait. Sunny's okay. Pip.
Izzy.
Of course he would say
Izzy.
Izzy. Okay, Izzy is an adorable Pinkie Pie cookie cutter of a character. I love how creative she is when we see her house.
Yeah. Here's the thing. First of all, I aspire to have a house like that, okay? Second,
absolutely. I love the flower table the most.
Same! Oh my god, that looks so cool! I would love for that to actually be a thing, you know? But also, she is just someone I kind of sort of relate to, especially fucking Pip. Pip is just this, like, petty social media influencer who has a heart, definitely, but she's also quite petty, and I absolutely love her for it.
I do like how I ended up liking Hitch more than I thought I would.
Hitch is a fun character. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think the reason why Hitch is so universally loved is the fact that, one, he's the first ever male character in the show
To be treated with respect.
Yes, he's expanded upon. And the second reason is, he just has some of the most best comedic lines.
He kind of does, yeah. Your son is
also
safe now,
voiced
man.
by,
No, I love, James Marsden, who was also a cop from Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yep.
I'm starting to I do hope that James Marsden gets into the better works in the future, because he got treated like dirt in a lot of previous films. Like, he was in Hop, and ironically enough, it was one of those cartoon to live action type movies, except Hop was not based off of anything as far as I remember.
They had Russell Brand as a talking rabbit.
We don't talk about the fact that it's like that.
Can I confess something? For
Yeah.
a little bit? So, at one point in a podcast where I was like, I don't want male characters. I don't want them to be likable because it's supposed to be a lesbian show, just being petty and all that.
Oh my god. Uh-huh.
I actually like Hitch in this movie.
Huh?
I actually like Hitch.
I like Hitch.
No, I like Hitch. I just wanted to establish, okay, I'm not going to like Hitch. This is supposed to be a fucking lesbian horses show, okay? I am going full on hating Hitch for as long as I fucking and I liked him. God damn it, no.
Well, I mean, Hitch was a really well-written character.
No, absolutely. He is a very well-written character.
Galaxy,
especially
you're sounding
since
a bit sexist right now, you know that?
Oh, fuck you, Ryley. Fuck you.
Sounding a bit prejudiced.
Oh!
I hate Nah, none of that. I will meet you to the ends of the fucking sun, you son of a bitch.
So let's go to the next question. So this is a question that was directed to me, but I can leave it to you guys too. What are your plans for this Halloween? I have to work that evening, and it's probably going to be hectic as hell.
Bruh,
Play Metroid Dread, cosplay, I think.
Well,
Eat candy.
Actually, if you guys are up for it, I was hoping to do a little bit of a movie marathon tomorrow.
I'm up for that. Okay.
Tomorrow night, I mean.
Tomorrow night. I have to come back from work at 6. I'm definitely up for that.
You guys are probably going to have the night of your lives. I get off at 11 p.m. my time.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, you're fine.
I hope
to be fair.
I hope at one point I get a full day shift instead of just working a few hours in the night, which it's an evening shift, not a graveyard shift. So it's a step up. I'm just hoping that I get a full-time day shift at the very least, because there's there's job hunting stuff that I have to do again, because welcome to California, the worst state to ever find work. Anyways, yeah. During Halloween, at least earlier in the day, I'll find something entertaining. At the very least, some people can also, showcase, some, share some, horror movies throughout the day before I would have to head out, stuff like that.
We do that.
Yeah, I definitely want to give a recommendation to, whatever horror movies that would be coming out. Or not coming out, but movies to watch during Halloween. Some people would say Nightmare Before Christmas. Some people would give out a slasher horror flick of some kind.
It's tradition at this point.
It is tradition. Yes.
Yeah.
You know what you should also play?
What?
You know what you should also do for Halloween?
What?
You should also play Metroid Dread on the Nintendo Switch.
If I had the fucking game, that's a roll of the dice. We'll see what happens then. But no.
Galaxy.
What?
Galaxy.
What? Hmm?
Eat. There is something I could recommend.
Okay, what do you recommend?
Okay, little fair warning, it's in Spanish, so you're probably gonna have to find the movie in subtitles, with subtitles. This movie, when I saw it, it still left an impact on me, mainly because of how very unsettling it is.
Oh, okay.
It's called Kilometer 31. It is actually one of Mexico's well-known horror films. It's basically about a twin sister who deals with the fact that her other twin is hospitalized after getting hit while at the titular location. However, things start to go awry, and it seems like something has been following her since her sister had that accident. It's actually pretty unsettling, and apparently it takes inspiration from Shining, but I could be wrong.
Oh boy.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Okay, so this is kind of playing off of what the next question here is. What do you think or recommend is a best or good Halloween movie? I'm pretty sure that Deafhorse has already given his answer.
The Howling series.
The what?
The Halloween series.
Oh, the Halloween. I thought you said the Howling.
No.
Oh, no.
No,
No, the
I meant,
Howling is...
but
Sorry, go
no,
on.
but no, I'm going to go with the cliche answer and say Evil Dead 2.
Oh, I love Evil
Hell
Dead
yeah.
2.
Fuck
yeah.
yes. No,
Oh,
Evil Dead 2
you know-
is fucking amazing. A great balance between horror and comedy, and just paying it off with a badassery of Ash having his amputated hand replaced with a chainsaw while sawing off the barrels of a shotgun and just going groovy.
Groovy.
Oh, yeah.
Also,
Yes.
for the meme, Golden, may I have a question? Do you have Amazon Prime?
No, I don't.
Okay, you could do something else with this. Okay. There's a movie, it's a horror, I'm not kidding, this is a horror movie. This movie, for the meme, okay, it's called Llamageddon.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yes! Let's have him watch Llamageddon.
No,
Yes!
You know, don't do much with that.
Please.
I mean, I once saw a movie called Zombie Beavers, and yeah,
Did
no.
you see Zombie Strippers?
What?
No, I did not see Zombie Strippers.
There's a movie called Zombie Strippers. It has Robert Englund from Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's my second. That's actually my second pick. The original Nightmare on Elm Street, released back in the '80s. Fuck the remake.
Yes.
The remake was just annoying to watch. Just constant bleh, bleh, jump scare, and it
I mean,
just.
the one thing you can at least give that movie credit for is that James, Jackie Earl did at least try to be a creepy Freddy.
They did, yeah, he did, but in execution, it's just like the only good thing aside from Robert Englund's performance, or who is the Jackie Earl Haley? You said?
Yeah, Jackie Earl Haley, who played the remake and
he was Freddy. Yeah, I for some reason I get those two mixed up. But aside from the performance, the cinematography looked nice. Like everything looks very shiny and colorful, and it definitely helps try to work with the tone. But that's about it. Visuals can only take you so far.
Yeah, another film I can recommend, and even though like this type of genre of horror has been beaten to death, especially in the late 2010s. Blair Witch Project. The Blair Witch Project all the
Except
fucking
for
way.
the sequels.
I mean,
so
we pretend the Book of Shadows didn't exist, but I thought that Blair Witch from 2016 wasn't that bad.
I didn't even know there was a remake of that. But go ahead, Sleepy.
yeah. Also, if you want my, if I want to basically give my, in all seriousness, kind of opinions on like my recommendations for horror movies, *Malignant*. Savannah's is it Savannah's Body?
I think so.
It's not Jennifer's Body.
Jennifer's Body.
Candyman 2021.
Hell yeah!
Candyman 2021. There's this other movie, Midsommar.
Yes! Yes!
You gotta
Misery.
go with the classics with the Exorcist.
Well,
That's a
maybe,
good
but
choice.
also
I can only say that with a pinch of
Misery,
salt.
and also scary movies.
The first,
yeah,
at least the first one. Like I've enjoyed some moments with Scary Movie 2. I saw Scary Movie 3, and it had like that was the first like my exposure to finally watching it. It doesn't hold up too well. They started to drift off by referencing Matrix.
Yeah, that
But
was
they're-
weird.
But golden.
What?
These men died for their country. Send flowers to their bitches and hoes.
I mean, you can't hate Liam. You can't hate Leslie Nielsen. God bless his soul.
Where are the notifications coming from? I literally muted that shit. I gotta figure that out.
Another movie, another horror movie. It's another found footage film, and it's also from Spain. Wreck. It was also remade in 2008 called Quarantine, but the original one from Spain is arguably 10 times better, and it's a lot more horrifying. Anybody who doesn't remember that movie, it's about a reporter who goes with these firefighters to this apartment complex to pretty much answer an emergency, and then the entire building gets quarantined off by the CDC because apparently there is something in the building that is like some sort of virus. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but right from the get-go, it is very fucking creepy. Especially
Gee,
since
that
you're seeing
doesn't sound familiar at all.
Yeah, I wonder what it is. But it's good. Oh, and of course, the Junon series, the Japanese horror movie of The Grudge.
Okay.
Also, the what was it? The Babers. Yeah, I haven't watched this movie, but I already know it's gonna look good or gonna look decent. The Babysitter from the Netflix thing.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
Babysitter.
if I were to give another recommendation, because I have to really think about this one, because again, I'm not too much into the horror genre. I don't think too much about it. I could just go
Fair.
for something like cliche, and say something like the first Terminator or the original Alien. But as much as they're like a sci-fi horror sort of thing, they're more action-driven, or at the very least, Aliens is. But the first Terminator was like action and horror, but it was more relegated to action. Ghostbusters is like that mesh between like comedy and horror. Like they would have a balance between those two. But if you really want to get into the horror shit, like something that would terrify you, that's really hard for me to go by. I like the first Friday the 13th. I mean, that's the only one that I watched. The one where Jason's mother is the killer.
Oh god, yeah, that's
And
a good one.
The thing that made it work on that one is that when the killing happened, the victim would be fucked. Like, for instance, like the one that I remember the most is that one of the kids was laying in one of the cabin beds and he's like reading a comic or a magazine or something like that. And then all of a sudden a knife goes right through the mattress and into his throat. So like, he's already fucked. And it's already like...
That was actually Kevin Bacon.
Oh!
No, I don't think it's Kevin Bacon you're thinking. I think you're of Johnny Depp.
Oh,
No,
that
Johnny
was
Depp was in
Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, he got dragged inside the mattress, and then like all of a sudden it's just a waterfall of blood splattered to the ceiling. Like that, you can't laugh at that. Like you keep.
Ridiculously amazing.
It was. It was just like what the fuck.
What about the original Poltergeist film?
I haven't seen it yet, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, I recommend it mainly for two things. One, it's actually very creepy once you really get close, once you really start to think about it. And two, the little girl who played the main character, Heather O'Rourke, rest in peace her, because God, she did not deserve her fate. She really did an amazing job playing the very curious, but obviously the manipulated child by whatever the hell's in the house.
Yeah, Caroline.
Especially with their famous "They're here."
Oh god.
I don't know. With me and horror, I'm a huge fan. I'm mostly a fan of like Japanese horror because, again, when it comes to Japanese with Japan, they do a lot of great things with their traditional, with the fact that it's very cultural. Their horror aesthetic.
I like horror.
Yeah.
I'm just not big into like the whole like jump scare thing that Hollywood's been obsessed for.
Yeah,
for decades. Yeah, no, because that's the thing that's challenging whenever it comes to finding a good horror. Like
it's cheap.
It's an overdone scenario to the point where it's like, okay, that's not scary. Actually, there is something that did kind of scare me, and this came out back in the 70s. It had a bit of a subtle thing. I don't know if many people like it today. It's called The Omen.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, I've
The
not
Antichrist.
seen the original, but I've seen tidbits of it. But I know for a fact that it's terrifying mainly from the basis of just how eerie it is, considering, it's about the fucking Antichrist.
There is something that I found hilarious, because I remember watching it the first time as my brother overheard it, because he was aware of the movie. There was a scene where the Pope is, running around, and then he's about to get strung by one of those spikes from the ceiling. Like, it was at the top of a tower, and it's got one of those long poles or antennas, and a lightning bolt struck it. And in the original, he's like, "Ah!" and he's standing there while he's about to take the hit, instead of I would have just moved aside. My brother laughs in the background.
Sounds like that scene from Austin Powers where the steamroller is going towards that guy.
Yeah, exactly. It was like that. No! Watch out! Move over. No! But no, I will give credit to the remake, despite how shot for shot redone it is. It's basically the same problem with the Psycho remake. At least in that one.
Psycho remake.
Yeah, but no, in the Omen remake, the Pope, when he gets struck by that lightning tower again, it comes to in a split second. It's and it's just instant. That they actually fixed that problem. But the original it's no. That was my only nitpick with that one. There was also something else that was kind of different, but I didn't really take issue with either side. In the original, yes.
Was it the death of the mom?
I think so. It was in the hospital. So in the original, she's getting out of bed and she's about to put her clothes on, and then in comes the nurse lady pushing her over the window. Whoa! That came out of nowhere. In the remake, she sticks some kind of air bubble in one of those veins, and it's about to go inside and kill her. But she's covering her mouth, and she can't move because there's other kinds of restraints going on with her.
Do you remember what the whole gimmick was of the remake?
What was that?
That it came out on...
it came out on June 6, 2006. Yeah, they literally decided, okay, we're going to make the remake of The Omen, but we're going to drop it on June 6, 2006. Because,
that was a Tuesday!
Yeah, Hail Satan!
That actually just reminded me of something else that I was introduced to by Midnight Sonata or Katie. It's kind of a similar subject to it. It's called Rosemary's Baby, and it had it had such a good twist at the end. What's going on with OBS? Why is it frozen?
Oh god, I haven't seen Rosemary's Baby, but I'm obviously familiar with the story. I did see the
Hold up. Okay, Sorry. There we go. But yeah, Rosemary's Baby. There we go.
Golden, do you know the thing about the director of that film?
Oh
what?
God, don't.
What?
Roman Polanski.
Yeah.
He slept with a 14-year-old.
13-year-old.
13-year-old, and he actually fled the country to avoid getting arrested.
Yep.
Well, and he actually finally got arrested, and I think only recently the U.S. basically told him, look, here's the fucking warrant, you can't stay in France anymore, come back to the U.S. now. Or something along those lines. I mean, talented director, but scumbag. But then again, that's most directors these days.
This is kind of the same sort of thing that happens with, apparently, okay, so there's a series, by a channel, I think it's called, it's the Kill Count, there we go. And he did not want to give any support to Jeepers Creepers because...
yeah, I remember
same thing.
That.
He doesn't want to give attention to the movies in that, which I think it's a bit of an extreme. I don't condone that behavior. It's fucking horrible. But at the very least, appreciate whatever was made in that regard. But it's separating the art from the artist, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I can understand why some people aren't for it too. So,
and that's fine. That's kind of I had that kind of immediate feeling now because I like the idea of what Rosemary's Baby was going for. It had a terrifying ending right there. But up until that point, I just now that I've known about what Roman Polanski, yeah, knowing what he did, it's a part of me feels a little dirty, but I can still enjoy the movie. I just don't like the director.
Yeah, it's kind
Kind
of
of
like with
like
me and
whenever
Stanley.
you hear "I Believe I Can Fly" now.
Oh yeah, no, same thing with R. Kelly, same fucking thing.
It's like with me and I've told Galaxy this thousands of times. It's like with me and black metal music. The genre is full of borderline psychopaths, sociopaths, and lunatics. But I personally appreciate the music as it is, because for me, the music is what I care about. I could give less of a shit about the artist unless I get really invested in the band and the individual.
Yep.
But other than that, I could give less shit about that. That being said, however, I can immensely understand why people aren't for that type of mentality. I only get annoyed when you start telling me, "Oh, you enjoy this? Well, that means you support the person." No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
I
that's
get it. Like it's not as long as you're not like defending what he did.
Oh God, no.
Fucking what? I think Quentin Tarantino actually did that once in an interview.
Yeah, he accidentally did that, and afterwards he immediately regretted it. He was like, "Fuck!"
What did he do?
Fuck. Quentin Tarantino during like a radio interview actually defended Roman Polanski.
Oof! Oof!
Yeah, and he later on admitted he fucked up on that. But to be fair, Quentin Tarantino had fucked up a little bit multiple times. Like
he always has.
One of the reasons that Uma Thurman doesn't work with him anymore was because he was basically very shitty to her during the production of Kill Bill, especially when he kept insisting that she do the famous driving scene in the movie, even though that driving scene is the reason she got injured. But the two of them... Yeah?
Go on.
I was gonna say, but the two of them did patch things up after Quentin Tarantino allowed consent for her to release the footage, and I think the two of them also patched things up after Quentin Tarantino cut ties with Harvey Weinstein, because Weinstein was...
Everybody knows about Weinstein. That is a whole different can of worms there.
Yeah, I'm not touching the Weinstein thing, but yeah, Weinstein was involved in the production of Kill Bill, but then again, he was involved in a lot of productions because he had to shove himself everywhere.
Oh, hey, you want to see somebody squirm? Ask Bill Gates about his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein.
No!
Okay, no.
We are not touching that.
Okay, so the incident between Uma Thurman and Quentin Tarantino is easily reminding me of something that is in a similar scenario, but 10 times worse. Paul W.S. Anderson treating one of the stunt devils in the production of one of the Resident Evil movies, which I've already hated on, but I now hate him as a person because he was pushing a last-minute take with the stunt devil of driving a car, and it led to a freak accident that costed the stunt devil her arm.
Yeah, it's kind of like I heard something recently about Alfred Hitchcock that made me go like, ah, shit, man.
Yeah, I think he treated Tippi Hedren like shit when he was making The Birds.
Yeah, The Birds.
Yeah, he was very He was very demanding to her, and that kind of really caused a lot of issues.
The thing that was worse in regards to Paul W.S. Anderson and the stunt lady is that he broke a promise to cover her medical expenses.
Fuck him!
Yeah.
Like, the minute you basically say, "I'm not covering your medical expenses," yeah, he can go fuck himself. I think, like, the worst example, like, I'm trying to remember, because there was another example that came to mind when this was being brought up. Stanley Kubrick.
Oh, yeah.
I love Stanley Kubrick. I love his work, and I think that the man is a talented director, but let's not beat around the bush. He was a fucking asshole when it came to working on the set with him. Not a lot of people worked with him. And while I absolutely love The Shining, it is unanimously agreed that he treated Shelley Duvall like complete shit. Now, by contrary belief, Shelley Duvall's mental issues from afterwards, like how she basically appeared on Dr. Phil looking like a complete wreck, was not solely because Kubrick treated her like trash. She had to actually clarify that in interviews because people were like, hey, if that's the case, then we shouldn't like Stanley Kubrick. We shouldn't be giving him so much praise for all this shit. she had to be like, no, guys, look, yes, he treated me like shit, but that doesn't mean that he's the sole reason that I have that I have the issues I have right now. But what I'm basically trying to get through is that Kubrick treated Shelley Duvall like complete trash. That's why in the movie you see her like as such an emotional wreck, because he really went out for her. He would make her have more takes. He would berate her. He would basically shit on her. I think in one of the behind the scenes that were recorded, she actually pointed out to him that she was actually getting a gray hair because of all the stress from the set. And allegedly, he also berated the hell out of the 70-year-old Scatman Cuthers, who played Dick. Most infamously, when they were doing the axe scene where Jack Torrance slams the axe into Dick's chest. Kubrick made the man do the scene over 40 times.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Bless
He's
you.
known about being an incredible like perfectionist and being really shit about it.
Yeah, he was obsessed with wanting everything to be done 100%.
Did you hear about the shit in like the fucking Doctor Strangelove with what's his name? The actor who was also in the
George C. Scott.
George C. Scott.
Yeah, I remember that basically what he did was that he tricked George C. Scott. He basically had George C. Scott film 2 scenes, like 2 parts of his scene. He would have George C. Scott do a over-the-top like acting scene, and then he would have him do a serious cut of the scene. Kubrick would be like, okay, I'm going to use the serious one. Don't worry about the second cut. I'm just, that's just us testing it.
Yep.
But instead, Kubrick would edit the over-the-top scenes into the movie so that people would watch George C. Scott, basically overact. Granted, this overacting made his character one of the most memorable parts of the movie, and it pretty much gave him a lot of the benefit of doubt, but George C. Scott did not approve of that.
Yeah, he was pissed.
He did agree that it was a good choice, but he absolutely hated the fact that Kubrick had to trick him like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we should get to the final question here by Star Raptor 94. Is everyone getting Mario Party? I'm guessing Mario Party Superstar, maybe. I do have to. I will say this from experience. As much as I hated Mario Party 2, that was the last Mario Party game that I played, because after Mario Party 3 was out, I was more than done. And I'm not going to get into the details. I know that there were later installments, like they went up to like 9 or 10, and then they had like subtitles, like there was Mario Party Advance, and then there's ones with cars, which I'm like, what? And things just started to get really weird. I did hear this recent one where they're going back to the roots, and I'm like, okay, and they're picking what is essentially, what Nintendo found their best. Even though they used Tug of War, why the fuck did they think that was a good idea to bring it back?
Yeah.
I'm still under the impression that, you're just begging for another goddamn lawsuit. It's, how many times as stupid do you have to be to bring back, okay, I love the first Mario Party game. I will admit that. But I will not condone those minigames where you have to rotate the joystick that causes blisters on the palms of your hands. Of course people are going to fucking do that. They're not going to rotate with their thumb because your thumb has limited movement.
Oh, at least we bring up how, like, the implementation of Nintendo's new expansion pack hasn't exactly been going over well.
I've noticed, and apparently there was a reason why the prices were so big. Because of Sega. Which, if you're going to use their property, you better pay us well, too.
Like, there's 1,000,001 ways to get fucking Genesis games. You did not need to have that tacked on in order to increase the fucking price without actually doing something about your shitty online service.
Here's something that's more hilarious. And the inclusion of, Star Raptor is not holding back. That expansion pack is dog shit. We can all agree that it's fucking garbage. But no, back to what I was saying. I've noticed that, so there was the Virtual Console, and they would allow some, Sega console games. Like, they had some Genesis. I think they had some Master System, maybe Dreamcast? I don't know. I know that Genesis was somewhat of an inclusion before it was discontinued. Then Genesis was not included in the Wii U Virtual Console, which I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense. But there's no Virtual Console period, so I'm like, Solar said it best. why not just bring that the fuck back? Because if you like, I get it. Nostalgia is huge and it's selling like big bucks right now, but you don't do. It's so fucking immoral that they want to use this expansion pack. Like, I can understand that they want to reuse the designs of the original controllers and such. Like, they want to bring back the N64 controller and the Genesis controller.
The N64 controller.
And, like, that's fine. I mean, you want to give people what the original experience felt like with the games, and that's okay. Same thing if you want to reuse, you know, your existing controllers. Like, if you want to use the GameCube controller to play an N64 game or some shit. You know, whatever is possible. You know, be flexible and everything. But there's a right and wrong way of doing shit. And unfortunately, whatever it is that I'm going to say is not going to fucking matter because it's Nintendo. But just whatever's possible, you like... The virtual console still accessible on the Wii U or no?
On the Wii U, yes. Just not on the Switch.
Okay.
The system that matters.
I guess that's the reason why anybody would buy a Wii U at this point. What do you think about it?
Emulators.
Yeah, no, like, okay, so
honestly,
that's...
I'm just... If they're gonna do this bullshit with me, I'm just saying fuck it, and I'm gonna get an emulator.
Like, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I do it too, but, I know about what... Okay, so I do have to take a step back about this, because I know about what Arlo said, that I would never recommend using emulators. That doesn't make it okay because of what Nintendo's doing. But how else are you gonna do it? I mean, aside from saving up money to get the Wii U, how do I know if whether or not Nintendo will discontinue their Wii Virtual Console, you know? It's...
Well, that's kind of the thing. I'm not here to defend Nintendo on this. Unless you, like, in legal terms, right? Unless you have the consoles, right? Like the N64s, the Famicons, all that shit. Unless you have those, it's pretty accessible in a way, but there's like a fucking price wall that you have to pay up, basically.
Yeah.
And while yes, like nostalgia sells, this is not the way to do it. And I get it, copyright is a thing, especially with Sega. Well, not Sega necessarily, because they could give less of a shit. But in this case, it's kind of different, because not only it's now a big deal that they are partnering with Nintendo, which Nintendo has like a weird history of what was it? Like copyright issues and all that. And
90s, the Genesis controllers that have Nintendo logos splattered on it. Imagine them saying that in the early 90s.
I'm just saying, like, I know it's not the greatest thing, but I can kind of see where they're coming from. It's just that if you're a customer, that's not good at all, especially since that if you're trying to basically say, hey, we're doing this because copyright system and all of that, you've had these games for years.
I think it was Gabe Newell who said accessibility is the best defense against piracy.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? Go ahead.
Because if you make your games more available to purchase and shit, like using a fucking emulator just becomes a chore at that point when you can just go purchase the thing and just add it to your system. Shit.
I think...
And by locking it behind this fucking, like, service, it's not giving you the value. You don't feel like you can actually access the main gimmick behind the Switch, which is to use it portably. Like, I can't use the online service when I'm out and about, and yeah, it's like...
It's such... okay, so, yeah, I know, a lot of us would, like... Because here's the thing. I get that it's illegal using ROMs and emulators, but it's such a gray area. Like, okay, if you're using them, the FBI's not going to come crashing down your door, okay? You're not going to get in that much trouble, if not anything.
Reminds me of the episode of The Simpsons where the FBI came, like, after Homer's illegal, like, theater shit.
Or a similar scenario with South Park, when as soon as they were downloading a couple of songs, the FBI comes crashing through the windows, like, get down on the ground! Like, what the fuck?
All
He
he's
tried to
done
show
wants
them-
to do is own his own island, and now I see a future where he doesn't own one.
So, like, okay, I understand why, because, again, it's a gray area. I understand why it's not okay to use ROMs and emulators, but people are still going to probably do it anyway, regardless of how moral you're trying to be in regards to what Nintendo is doing. And it's beyond everybody's control. And at the same time, like, some ordinary games, or Mutahar, he actually said, like, I do not feel bad using Nintendo ROMs and emulators. Like, apparently that's his point proven more. The other possibility is just saving up and purchasing, like, older consoles and working with an old television to replay the experience, but that can also come with a pretty penny as well. So it's really a huge gray area here. Some people
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I think what kind of makes me feel tempted, but at the same time I thought about it and I was like, oh, okay, I could just do that instead, is when they mentioned that, hey, did you know that this expansion pack's gonna be here? However, the Happy Home Academy thing is gonna be on the expansion. And I'm like, oh my god, really? So that not only I can do this, but I can also play Animal Crossing too? But you also have to pay a fucking lot of money. And I'm like,
Nope.
I'll just buy it separately. Thank you very much. I would rather, I mean, it's like, what, like $50 when you pay the actual, like, thing? But if you were to pay them separately, that means you're, like, at the very least, like, $5 off. At the very
Okay,
most.
so I'm looking at the expansion pack price reveal trailer, and right now the ratio is 17,000 likes
Uh-huh.
to 97,000 dislikes.
Bruh.
I'm not surprised. So, like, okay, so I will leave it at this, because I know that whatever it is that I say about ROMs and emulators, like, I have a gut feeling that some of us would get in trouble. I do have to say that I don't recommend doing ROMs and emulators. I mean, that's kind of, pop me in the kettle here.
We at the GoldenFox podcast do not officially endorse emulators or ROMs.
But
Proud of you.
there is a bit of a benefit to all of this. If you use ROMs and emulators, I mean, some of us are guilty of that. I'm guilty of that. It does allow you to, like, because some people have said in some comments saying emulation is what got me into collecting old games and shit. Like, that's what got me into doing it too. If some people, like, if they're exposed to it and they like the game and then they just want to have the physical hardware or give support to Nintendo in that regard simply because of it's like giving a taste to something, or an appetizer, or what is it called? Like a sample at a food market. And you like this, you want to purchase the product later on. That's kind of a benefit, like a positive way to perceive it as. However, when it also comes to working with emulators, it can be very difficult to some degree. Like, it really all depends on which ones are which. Like, there's some that are simple, some are overly complex. So there's a negative side to that. I can't really condone it or recommend it because I don't want to risk getting other people in trouble. So...
Nor would you want someone basically being like, oh, you use emulators, you're not playing the game right, or something like that.
Oh, yeah, no, like, Mutahar even talked about that, saying, oh, if you really want to play it the actual way, use the original hardware. It's like, that original hardware is going to die out one day. He's not wrong about that, unfortunately. They can be fixed. I've seen some videos online where, some old hardware is broken down. They can be modded and updated where you could... At some point, like, I've seen some people work with having HDMI ports literally installed into their N64, which is a lot of money in and of itself. But
I mean, you can get, like, multi-systems that play, like, N64, NES, SNES, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
They are like a few $100s, though.
It is. And as far as trying to access, the older hardware or accessing the older games, it's all over the place. And no matter what decision it is, there's always going to be a gray area. There's no absolute solution to all of it. So even if you say, I cannot recommend or I would never say, do it with ROMs and emulators, or you have to do it this way or that way, there's a pro and con to everything, and these pros and cons are so extreme. So by any means necessary, if you found a way, whatever decision it is, I don't hold anything against it.
No.
Yeah.
But this is also kind of the thing. Basically, I'm just giving the no shit Sherlock kind of thing here. Just although Golden doesn't recommend ROMs or emulators, that's out of his fucking control.
Yeah.
Like,
if you choose to, I'm not going to get mad about it. I don't blame you if you're doing that, because Nintendo's a bunch of idiots. I know that a quote-unquote doesn't
make... in terms of, like...
their expansion pack and everything. But again, I know that it's not morally okay, but I think it's come to the point where it's almost like necessary evil, you know?
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, I think it's time... Because, we went on this for a while. As far as Mario Party was concerned, I do have to somewhat play more Mario Party again and find... Because in the future, I do plan on reviewing video games, and I'm going to put a pin on that for a much, much later time. So...
You're welcome for me hogging the podcast, by the way.
I don't think you did. I think a lot of people had an equal amount of time here. And on that note, thank you for anybody who anticipated to the podcast. Any final says that any of you in the call would like to give?
Hey, Golden.
What?
I guess you could say this has been a dreadful hour.
Galaxy.
Look, I will give Metroid Dread a try if they have the physical cartridges available. Stop rubbing it in my face.
I can't blame you, because I literally was gonna be like, oh, I want to spend $89 simply for like a bundle, and I saw like the pre-order thing, and I'm like, and it says it's not available. I'm like, God damn it! I was like, I'm willing to spend $90 if it means I get to have some good like support from like Metroid and shit, right? But I can't do that, because when I basically say that I want to do that, all of a sudden stores are like, no, you can't access these. Goodbye. Buy the original game instead. Oh, and also if you want to pre-order, you have to go somewhere. You have to go 80 miles in order for you to get that like pre-order bonus. Like, fuck that! I want the game!
Okay, Galaxy.
Patience is a virtue, Galaxy.
Enough. All right, let's we don't want to go off another tangent there. So I guess Sleepy has got her ending statement. Ryley, about you?
Yay, BabsCon?
Okay.
Yay, BabsCon.
All right, Deafhorse.
The only thing I can say is I'm gonna recommend you guys stand the hell out of YouTuber Wendigoon, because motherfucker is a good horror content creator. That's all I can say.
Okay then.
Wendigoon, yeah.
All right then. Okay. So on that note, thank you for all who anticipated. I look forward to the next podcast when we talk about things. It'll be quite interesting. We're still looking around to see what happens. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and I'll catch you all later.
Never happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Have a good happy Halloween, folks. Be safe out there.
Also, Ryley, go fuck yourself.